To confirm or otherwise, I put Gangnam Jin.
Okay, so RunAway are running Goats, and GC Busan Wave are running Sombra Goats.
So now both teams rolling out here to this first mid here on Nepal. GC Busan Wave obviously on that Sombra. Edison looking for that early poke, and RunAway.
Sleep thrown out, doesn't really find much. They're gonna try and... So, I've been impressed with how RunAway have played against Sombra. So, we'll see if they're able to focus out Edison and play aggro. So, they know where he is. They found him. Isolated him a little bit, but Edison's doing a good job at being able to build stuff up. He's already at 65%. So, RunAway really needs to take an engagement here, but GC Busan are playing passive enough and being able to farm EMP well enough with Edison that they're going to have EMP for this first fight. So this is smart play from GC Busan Wave. What a sleep. Okay, can they peel for him? Can they peel for him? They've sat bubbles on top of him. No, really nice aggression from RunAway. They know that all of the resources are going to be invested into Edison to keep him alive, and so instead they just kill everybody else. That's very nice play by RunAway.
And we see,
What a sleep.
An incredible build for EMP, actually. Not outbuilding Gangnam Jin before he's even going to have Nano. And then we get a crazy sleep. And the follow-up there, RunAway, knowing this is their win condition for this fight.
Wow.
Let's engage right now. Because it's and the set name.
If anything, the quality of this VOD seems to be worse than the quality of the previous VOD.
It doesn't really do much, but, just that's just a nice cherry on top.
Alright, so now they want to engage with EMP here. Okay, so 4 players caught in the EMP. But the nano comes out beforehand. So, and again, really nice nano by Gangnam Jin. Because that's going to allow them to potentially have a chance to win this fight. He knows that he's going to get caught in the EMP because of his positioning. And so he nanos early. Who did he nano? I can't even fucking see. Oh, it was Shui. So I think probably he was trying to nano Mag, but missed, and it was on Shui, but... That's... What the fuck was that? The focus fire from GC Busan isn't that great. If you EMP, even if somebody is nanoed there, everybody should be focusing Mag, and you should be able to get that kill on Mag. Even if a bubble comes through, you should have enough damage to be able to kill him. But nobody's really doing damage. And I'm not sure exactly why, but... Yeah. That's a weird one by Mag. Yeah, I don't think he realized that everyone was backing off.
They end up getting Edison as he tries to get out. The EMP does absolutely nothing. It's preemptive.
Yeah, again, Gangnam Jin using the...
But that is nice from Gangnam Jin.
Putting it onto Shui, because a Nano Brigida is very, very strong and also gives a lot of peel ability.
And yeah, the Nano Brig isn't bad either. I just think he was probably aiming to go for Mag because Mag's their primary target with that EMP. EMP, the Reinhardt is just like a pudding. He doesn't have a shield.
To build it up before the end of the map, unless Edison just has the best build ever.
And now GC Busan Wave have to move
Whoa, what is this observing? Can't tell what the fuck is going on. Okay, so Grav comes in, Grav bomb as well, but they've already punished Mag, so I like this. I like this from GC Busan Wave, I should say.
Look for the shatter. Has beat.
Where are the bubbles? Why is he not using bubble on Mag? Has he already used it early in the fight? Oh my god, I can't see shit with the camera flying all over like that. Okay, when Mag goes aggressive in this Grav, he should be taking a bubble from Hisu. This VOD is so much worse quality than the previous one, and I don't know why. Mag needs the bubble here. When you know that you're going to go for a Grav Bomb combo, you need to be bubbling, you're right. And ideally, Mag wants to swing around the side so that he can't just get Grav with everybody else. They're going to counter Grav. Free is obviously going to counter Grav. And if everyone gets stuck in the Grav, that means that you absolutely can't follow up at all. And you can't make sure that QRQ's bomb results in a fight win. But if Mag swings around the side here, then you can only Grav either the people who are following up with damage or the people that are following up with, the Rhine that's following up with the pin or whatever he chooses to use. So I would have liked to see Mag take a different position in this fight. But also, he just needed a bubble. So I don't know where Hisu's bubble was. Anyone see Hisu's bubble? Oh, he was stunned? Was he?
Look for the shatter. But Gong has beat. GC Busan Wave have to move in. Look for this grab. Look for the shatter.
Oh, the shadow just gets yeeted out and catches Yisu. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I didn't realize. I missed the earth shatter. Flying pixels all over the place. So not Hisu's fault. Mag should have played a little more passive until the if he realized that Hisu had been shattered. But okay, nice nice shadow from Ion. Keeps him alive in that fight.
That was a good
kind of shadow.
Good push. I mean, the problem is that when RunAway invested the grab, the beat was up, and or when they invested the grab, I mean, they just couldn't clean up. They could not clean up there from their own grab.
So sometimes the VOD goes like this, and it's lovely and clear. And then sometimes the VOD is like it was 5 seconds ago, where it's just potato quality. And I can't read anything. Hopefully it stays clear for the majority of this game. Otherwise it's going to be very difficult to spot everything that happens in a fight without rewinding 72 times.
Which is very, very important in this next fight, because RunAway will be looking, I imagine they'll be looking...
Use the Korean VOD? Suppose I could.
Post-Edison EMP.
I don't think that'll be... it should be better quality, actually, shouldn't it? Nah, I'm just going to stick with this one for now. Alright, so Edison's been very good at being able to charge up his EMPs. So let's see if they can get value out of it this time. They do have the nano to try and fuck with it. Alright, so again, they see the translocator come through. So Edison throws his translocator. And that is the sign for Gangnam Jin to nano boost. So Gangnam Jin then nanos. You can't tell by the UI who is nanoed. It's probably Mag though, like I was saying before. But Gangnam Jin is throwing his nano boost out every time they use the translocator. That's like his cue to do it. So if Edison notices this and he's able instead to flank and not translocate, but just appear and then EMP, then maybe they'll have more success. Or if he throws his translocator and then doesn't EMP and doesn't do anything, he might be able to bait out the nano. So we might see some mind games like that develop, because at the moment it seems fairly obvious that that this is what's happening. But it's a 5-man EMP, it's still really good, and they should be able to get kills with it, even so. They can sync it up with the shatter. Okay, they do. A lot of damage on Ion. So... oh my god. The EMP hits everybody, but they back up instantly, and they do a shit ton of damage to Delight, who presumably tries to go instantly aggressive. So you gotta be careful with how you set those up. An EMP shatter combo. No, he didn't have the shatter until just after the EMP had been used. But it seems like they are not in position to... So, I think, again, something that the best Sombra teams in OWL tend to do is take these EMP fights once the enemy team is already committed. So once RunAway have already kind of passed the point of no return, that's when they'll EMP them. But GC Busan Wave, and just in general, some of these low-level teams like go in with the EMP, and then they still have quite a bit of distance to cover before they can isolate a target. But the closer the enemy team is when you actually EMP, you can get way more value out of it. Yeah, I've watched the Korean teams back in the day shit talk each other before an Apex game. Yeah, sure. I watched all of the Apex games. It was the only thing that was happening in the scene at the time. What is this Bren tweet? Overwatch gameplay, then Sekiro race continues. Grand finale against Sideshow. Fucking bring it on. Bring it the fuck on. Bren is perhaps the best Genji, or better yet, the best player in the Overwatch League. Bren's playstyle is unique, and his game sense is stunning. Bren definitely does not deserve to be grouped with daft commentators like Side Slow. Where did this come from? Where did this come from? Is this you, Traitors OW, again? It's unbelievably untrue. And RunAway do a good job. Personally, I think RunAway are at their best when they're playing against Sombra Goats. They seem to have a great understanding of how to play against that comp.
They overcommitted so hard to this fight, and they've lost it now because of it. They move forward. They're able to put...
It's their default Ryan v Ryan Goats that I think is sometimes weak. But it's not as weak as other people's. You know. Another sick sleep coming out from Gangnam Jin. And they're just cleaning up at this point.
You know, moral victories,
Moral victory.
And that was actually control.
What do I think of Atlanta right now? I think Atlanta probably find it very difficult to focus after winning against New York. They kind of, when you're a low-level team like that and you've just had terrible weeks of losses and you lost to Valiant and this kind of shit and you're still struggling to get your shit together, and then Doko comes back and you beat NYXL, it can make you feel like you succeeded already and you don't have that much to play for. I think they got sloppy in their game. I think generally they're a better team than the Charge, but they ended up losing to them, and I think they struggled with the Doomfist. Being able to adapt on the fly, it seems like something that Atlanta are pretty poor at. But yeah, I think are they a middling team? Probably not. I think they're below average. But they're probably about 12th, somewhere around that kind of level. I think that New York really shit the bed in their game against Atlanta, but Atlanta also played pretty well.
It's essentially the age-old saying, I guess, is like.
And I think Atlanta had a good read on what New York were fucking up in that match and continued to punish it. Sabiolbi's Tracer or Sinatra's? Definitely Sabiolbi's. Having said that, I think Sinatra's Tracer, now that he's got better coaching and stuff, will probably be good the next time that it comes out. Because he's mechanically talented, he just played it in a daft way before. Trying to like solo carry and stuff. Now a better question is Striker or Sabiolbi's Tracer? And the answer is, I don't fucking know. Alright, why are GC Busan Wave continuing to force the Sombra? I don't know. But RunAway are pretty good at playing against the Sombra, so. I'm gonna order some food though before I die of starvation. Do you think Doom from Charge is actually good? Or are teams like Spark and Atlanta simply poor at adapting mid-match? I don't think the Doomfist is good in the sense that I don't think the Doomfist is better than Goats. I don't think the Doomfist is like a default better composition, or even something you should be able to stylistically run against the top teams in that way. I think that Spark and Atlanta both didn't really understand how to punish it. And broadly speaking, the way of punishing it is by putting pressure on the Doomfist and like forcing them away a little bit. And the team that is running the Doomfist are going to be forced to use their resources on them. Like, they're going to be forced to use Armor Pack or use Bubble on the Doomfist when they engage most of the time. At least if you're aware. So, like, first of all, it's like Sombra. You have to be aware of where they are. And you have to make sure they don't just suddenly flank you and get a 3k. And then you force resources out of the other team because they're running a Doomfist and they have to support it so much. And then you can just body the front line because they don't have the resources. So generally speaking, that's what you'll see the top teams do. They put pressure on the Doom so they can't get crazy triple kills. Stay aware of the Doom so that they can't get crazy triple kills. And then utilize the fact that their front line has less resources because they're playing with a Doomfist. That's the way of doing it. Thanks for the 100 bits. RunAway are trash, says Ratbot. Please review a more interesting or better team like British Hurricane or the Mayhem Academy versus Fusion Uni. I wasn't able to catch the Mayhem Academy versus Fusion Uni game live, but I strongly suspect from the games of NA contenders that I've watched in the past that of those three teams you just mentioned, RunAway, British Hurricane, and Fusion Uni, I haven't watched too much of Mayhem Academy, that the worst of those is actually Fusion Uni. I think NA Contenders is the weakest of the three regions right now. But I also haven't watched too much NA Contenders because it happens at similar times as when I'm working. Whereas I have been able to catch a bunch of European and Contenders. And Korean, sorry. Let's see, though. Let's get onto those teams another time.
A counter comp if they want to run Edison on the Sombra, because it's a lot harder to contest that Mega Pack.
NA teams have a lot of fantastic individual talent, but make a lot of teamwork mistakes. A lot of teamwork mistakes. Because they rely on those individual players clutching a lot. Okay. So RunAway have just taken the point. The Sombra is still continuing to build really well. Edison's doing a good job at farming EMP. Lee Jigon hovering above. Gets pressured out a little bit. Good pressure.
He is scouted by
Make sure that he
Edison,
can't
so
just
that is an 85%
get boops on people into the pit or be able to
this is
find boop
Busan's
engagements.
chance to move towards the point.
All right, let's take a look
Set
at
up
how this
Edison
EMP
here
works.
to look for the EMP.
Oof.
Get the hack off here. Edison has to translocate out. Molly does that. Runaway. Decide to move in. They get free down immediately.
So they force out Edison and they play aggressive.
But even as
EMP is a little risky, but they are going to be able to change the turn the fight. They kept Free and Fielder alive, so their two main sources of damage were still alive in that
They're gonna
fight.
commit to this fight.
Are they going to fight this? Both teams have trans. Both teams trade trans. Why are they backing off, though? I don't think GC Busan Wave should be backing off. They should be taking advantage of the fact that they had positioning advantage. But instead, they've just given the positional advantage all the way over to Runaway. And let's take a look at the situation in this fight. So they're down a Lucio and a Brig. And the other team is down their main source of damage, Hisu, along with the Lucio and the Diva. And then when they rally engage here, GC Busan pop their Transcendence. But they pop their Transcendence and back off, which is very strange. They want to pop their Transcendence and play aggressive, at the very least to force out Gundam Jin's trans. Now, Gundam Jin pops anyway, even though, I mean, I don't think anyone was about to die.
It's still pretty bloody, though. GC Busan Wave, they make the most out of it.
They're scared of 3 players here. I mean, yes, there's only 4 players there, and yes, they're weak. They need to pop the trans, but you should still stay forward and just trust in the Transcendence to be able to save you.
They're going to commit to this fight.
They're fighting back to get used to rally. They are the two-man wrecking crew here. They buy time for respawns to get back.
Because if you just wait, then Edison's not going to have as much impact in the fight.
They're currently still
And
just a lane
you
more,
will
and
just
they were
lose
able
in
to
the
get
end anyway.
Trans out of fielder as you see Mag commits. He's going to be able to get this frag. He's discorded. You notice how they keep the discord onto fielder the entire time for Mag's dive. They come back into
But
for him.
it's a good opportunity to go for a recon test from Runaway as well, because they have the rally and the enemy team doesn't, because Delight was dead.
A little risky. Even Lijiagong is in.
And even if GC Busan had played aggressive, they know that Mag's going to get back in the fight early with a Primal Rage, so I like that.
Arguably, most other teams would lose where you think it's done for. Edison had a good EMP for the last 7 Runaway.
So, the weird thing about when I tweeted that I think that British Hurricane might be better than Runaway, and I did say might, I didn't say they were better, and I did say that I hadn't reviewed the VODs yet to be able to be totally sure. It was just a, you know, like a feeling that I had from watching a bunch of the games. The weird thing was just like how much a lot of people who haven't watched much footage default assume that Runaway are fantastic. That to me is kind of crazy. Dopo W, thank you for the 2 months, tier 1. Sup, Smoothbrain. Sup. As if there was like no world in which that could be true. But I think that's like a very reasonable question to ask. Is one Contender's region's unbeaten team better than another Contender's region's unbeaten team? But I don't know. I think the tweet got posted to Reddit and it was just like, this guy's fucking take is so stupid. I don't know. I don't think it's that stupid. I think it's a reasonable question to ask and investigate.
That a lot of teams just wouldn't commit on. They were down so many players. It was realistically Gundam Jin and Shui versus the world. And they realized that their ults were so strong, their positions were strong.
And also, it's very easy for undefeated teams to become overrated. Wow, that is an interesting graph. So why did they grab that? Why did they do that?
The world. And they realized that their ults were so strong, their positions were strong that they could commit.
Wave, nice shatter in here from Ion, gonna knock a few to the ground. They already have Hisu.
I have fucking no idea why they grabbed them up on the wall there. Maybe they were just trying to get a solo kill on Daydream and the others jumped into it. Was that what happened?
That they could commit.
Yeah. Okay, so they tried to solo grab Daydream to see if they could get the kill on him. And when he's juggled up in the air like that, I mean, there's fucking nothing he can do. But instead, he manages to pop the sound barrier, and they've essentially thrown away their graph, which would be useful for the next fight. But Runaway still have 5 volts, so...
Why is he going so aggro on the harass here when he already has EMP?
Wait, why did Free use his graph? Did Free need to use his graph? No. Okay, Free didn't need to use his graph. GC Busan overinvest, but these kind of situations where you're at 99%, I don't want to be too critical here, because as a general rule, a lot of, you know, like Reddit analysts and stuff tend to very strongly hold the opinion that you should never use never use an ult when you're at 99%. You should just die and save your ults for the next fight. But the problem is, the enemy team is never going to use an ult unless you use an ult. If they don't have to use an ult, they're not going to. Then they won't. And it's better to have an ult advantage than just have a bunch of ults. Like, if it's 6 ults on both sides, the defending team has a huge advantage. And they're still going to have a really big advantage here. Which of these teams is more desperate to win this team fight? Definitely GC Busan Wave. So, as the attacking team, on the verge of losing this map, if RunAway invest one ult, Busan are likely to over-invest because they have to make sure they win the fight. So investing an ultimate to force out ultimates from the enemy team here can often be a great idea. It's like a really good idea. The question mark for me was, the fuck is it doing on the wall? And also, why did GC Busan Wave use so many ults of their own? But the answer there is that they're panicked. And that's like a very reasonable thing to assume a team like that would be panicked. Now, thankfully, they don't use their EMP. So they could still win the next fight off EMP. What's the best way of using EMP in this fight? I'm not actually sure.
I mean, maybe you can get that pick. Maybe you can
Probably trying to EMP Mag and QOQ.
Something to note is that he did use Grav, so there's no Grav available.
If they go aggressive. But unless you EMP the backline, they're just going to save them. And you're not going to be able to EMP both of the backline for RunAway.
For RunAway here, so
because they're going to spread out.
GC Busan doesn't have to worry.
So, I don't know. Very difficult to still win this fight, even though you have EMP. Oh, but they get a 5-man EMP. Gangnam Jin does, but like I said, you can't. You're very unlikely to be able to capture both of those supports in the EMP. And free goes down as well.
Just wasted no time at all and hang back
to Free already got bashed. Free had been bashed before the EMP came out, and everybody had already focused him. And RunAway's focus fire is a lot better than any other Korean Contenders team, I think. It's still, honestly, RunAway's focus fire is still not fantastic. It's still not as good as the top Owl teams, but it's a lot better than most of the other Korean Contenders teams. They can isolate targets in fights, usually much quicker than the other team can, which gives them a big advantage in situations like that. But like I said, I think RunAway are maybe at their best when they're playing against Sombra Goats, so I would not be recommending playing Sombra Goats into RunAway right now. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna... Okay, let's order some food. I've never eaten as much like ordered food, you know, like takeaway, as I have this year while I've been streaming. There needs to be a way in which I can cook whilst VOD reviewing. You know? How do big streamers do that? Do they just always order food? No wonder people get unhealthy and fat. A cooking stream? I suppose they could, yeah. Just take a break and do a cooking stream. I suppose that you could just split your day into 2 streaming sessions where you have like one in the morning and then one in the evening, and you have a break to eat. Prep food before stream? I suppose it could, yeah. Live with people who cook for them? I mean, that would be fantastic. Jonathan does actually sometimes cook and offer me food. He's an absolute delight. Oh, a slow cooker. That's the fucking play, for sure. We actually do have a slow cooker. I should be doing that, definitely. Has the Korean talent been pilfered by Owl, or is there still a disgusting amount of talent left? Korean Contenders probably still has the largest amount of talent of any region left. And a lot of it is young as well. Like most of the guys, 4 of the guys on RunAway are too young to be picked up by Owl, so they can't even be poached. So that's fantastic for them. And then you've also got people like, I mean, Edison is a good talent that probably would be scouted for the Overwatch League if he wasn't too young. Who else? Naced, Alarm, Who Are You? There's so many other people as well. Fuck, I can't even think of other people that I've looked at but were too young. Sparkle, yeah, of course. A bunch of the Element Mystic people are too young. Yes, yeah, they're NA contenders, yeah. Nice and alarm. But I was just meaning Korean talent in general. Why am I not in Texas? I will be. I'm flying out on Thursday. Glister, of course, as well. Yeah, Glister is too young. And he's fucking great. Alright, let's go for... what do we go for? A burger? What do we go for? What do you think, chat? What do we go for? What's the food? What's the food of choice? Kebab? I could go for some kebab. I've eaten quite a bunch of that before, though. Have I ever seen Contenders South America? I haven't watched any this season. I did watch some from playoffs last season, but I haven't watched any this season. And I think... So, I was pretty interested in South America before the World Cup, and then I was hoping for more from Team Brazil. And with Team Brazil just getting kind of... I mean, they had some good players that stood out, and the showing was decent, but I thought actually that Brazil might put up more of a fight against USA and Canada. And so it kind of turned me off going super deep into Contenders South America, because if they had had great performances there, then I would have really, you know, watched a bunch of that to try and spot some talent that was playing well. Hey, Formation, how you doing? Eat something messy, I want you to feel dirty. Well, you're a fucking terrible human being. I'm gonna eat halal, guys. Again. Bum bum bum. Is Chinese food common in the USA? Yes, but I think it's like American Chinese. I think if you're used to proper Chinese food and you came and ate a bunch of US Chinese food, you'd think it was very different. RunAway owl tier. I mean, they're definitely owl tier, but the question is, are they top owl tier? And the question is also, are they better than the top European contenders teams? I think top European and Korean contenders teams, like, actually, probably only RunAway, I'm confident, is better than a bunch of teams in owl. The second best team at the moment, I think, is Gen G, right? And they looked very poor in their game. We've missed your streams. I know, I'm trying to stream more, but last night I was trying to stream as well, but I'm so fucking tired after work sometimes. And the idea of streaming, the idea feels worse than the action itself. You know, like when you have a phone call you need to make, and you just can't be fucked making the phone call. But when you actually ring them, whatever it is, like you're ringing somebody to, I don't know, ringing a member of your family that you haven't rung in ages, or you're ringing somebody to complain about something, or you're trying to cancel whatever. I always put off that shit. I hate talking to people on the phone. But when you're actually on the phone, you're like, okay, this wasn't a problem at all. I just couldn't be bothered to start it. And this starting streaming is half of the effort. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit like exercise as well, I suppose. So, yeah. So that's what's been going with me and streaming. But also I've been trying to do other stuff with my room. Like one of my major priorities right now is to set up this podcasting station. So I don't know whether you guys can see, but I've got a podcasting area now set up. So I have like a 3-foot by 3-foot table and some chairs, and I need to rig the audio and the visuals up. And so that's my plan for this week, actually. I want it done by the end of the week. I want to start recording podcasts by when we come back from Dallas. Oh, fuck. We're in Dallas. Ah, shit. Well, I at least want to order the things online that I need. Like, I have 2 microphones, but only one microphone arm. I've got a tripod in the back that's a microphone thing, but I think I'm going to save that for a rainy day. Zulakoti, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. And then What mic do I use? This is a Rode USB mic. I think it's just called like the Rode USB. I don't think it has like a name. And then I always used to use this mic, which is excellent as well. It's the Audio-Technica AT2020 USB Plus, which is this is a great mic. And it's dented, it's bashed. I've had it for years. I've thrown it around. I've dropped it. I've done all sorts of shit to it, and it still works really well. It's slightly lower quality than this microphone, and I like that I can... This has live monitoring on the mic itself, so if I want to go like... If I want to not hear any of my voice or hear a ton of my voice in my own ears, then I can do that, and it also has volume control on the microphone itself. So you got it for... What? You got a Rode NT USB for 20 bucks in the UK? 20 quid? No way. No way. How the fuck did you do that? I spent like 140 bucks on this, I think. Anyway, it's definitely worth more than 20 quid. All right, anyway, let me order this shit. Add one to the cart, view my cart, pay for it. There we go. Place order. Okay, now we're just gonna watch out for those people. Let me just check what the casters are talking about in our WhatsApp group. Okay, nothing that interesting. All right, extra white sauce. You don't need extra white sauce. All right, what was I talking about? Oh, the podcasting stuff. Yeah. So my aim is to set up at least 2 microphones, but hopefully 3, because this will also carry my Shure SM57. So I need another arm. I need another microphone arm. And I need a way of incorporating 2 USB inputs and an XLR input into a mixer. I don't fucking know how you do that. How do you... I've never seen a mixer before that has USB and XLR inputs, but I'm sure they exist somewhere, maybe. Joe Jordan, thank you. Joe Jordan 21. Thanks for the content, Smooth Brain. Are you coming to Dallas? If so, I'll have to say hi. Yes, I am coming to Dallas. I'm flying out on Thursday. By the way, Saj, it sounds like you have a lot of projects. Don't burn yourself out. Well, that's why I haven't been streaming. I mean, if I was making myself stream every day as well, then I think I'd be a fucking quivering wreck. But I've decided, like, it's better to have a smaller amount of streams where the stream itself is better than to just stream every day and not really be doing anything. So today is assessing RunAway and then playing Sekiro with Bren. Tomorrow is assessing British Hurricanes and maybe finishing Sekiro with Bren. It depends how much Sekiro is required. And then at some point throughout the week, we need to do the anime dance as well in our schoolgirl outfits. So that'll be coming at you sometime. Oh no, because we're in Dallas. That might not stop us. That would be a great stream from Dallas. Let me think it over. I'm definitely not doing it from stage, no. There's some USB XLR cables with integrated converters. Ah, cool. I'll have to look into it. Yeah, maybe we can do the anime dance thing this week from Dallas. But when I come back, the podcasting is definitely a big thing. So here's my ideas. See, this is actually interesting because it's like live feedback on some ideas that I have. Whoa, not when am I heading out to Dallas? Thursday morning, very early Thursday. So wait, where have I put this? Okay, here it is. So me, Brent, and Jonathan already recorded a couple of episodes of a podcast where it's not Overwatch talk at all. It's just random shit from our lives. So, like, for example, the story highlights that I've been putting up on YouTube. If you haven't, go and watch them. They're funny as fuck. I know it's me bigging up my own stories, but honestly, there's been some dumb shit that's happened to me over the years, and I think they're fucking funny. And then, so we want to continue that random podcast where it's me, Bren, and Johnny, and we're just talking random bullshit. The last time we did it, we recorded 3 episodes. The audio was scuffed, so we never released it. But like, Bren told a story that made me cry laughing, and I'm not sure whether he'll ever tell it again. So maybe we'll have to go and recover the audio of that, because it was funny as fuck. It's maybe the funniest story I've ever heard in my life. Maybe we'll be able to get him to recite it. But Bren isn't really like me. He doesn't enjoy the storytelling and like that kind of aspect of it. It's more of, it has to be in the moment for Bren. So yeah. So yeah, it'd be me, Bren, and Johnny just shooting the shit and making a comedy podcast essentially. Then I want to do an interview podcast where it's just me and a player, or me and another member of talent, like me and Matt, or me and Super, or me and Dogman, or whatever. And it's just a one-on-one where I'm not even talking about their career. We just pick a topic and we talk about it. Like, are Dallas Fuel actually good? And we just have like 20 minutes, half an hour just discussing that topic. And then I want another Overwatch podcast with multiple guests. And my idea for the name of this is, it's the Overwatch Sideshow with Sideshow Overwatch, which is that's SEO disaster. That's search engine optimization tragedy right there. But I think it's just such a fucking funny name that it's great. The Overwatch Sideshow. The Overwatch League Sideshow with Sideshow Overwatch. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway. Fantastic name. So, and that would be with multiple guests. So that would be with me, probably a regular co-host, maybe Bren, or maybe... Yeah, so maybe like me, Bren, and then another guest. Or maybe it would be me and 2 guests. I'm not really sure how I'd work that one out. But for that, I need 3 mics set up. At least. And I'd really like 4, but I think I can just get one of the guests to bring their microphone, is my plan. Because everybody has a mic, because we're all gamers. So it's not like it's a random... I'm not asking like random people to bring a microphone. I'm actually asking people who own microphones to bring microphones. And then... if Harsh is down for it, I'd like to do a couple of episodes of Through the Grapevine again. Because that shit could be super funny. But also, Harsh is now working with a team. He's not a journalist, so that could be good. As someone who works with social media, you've set yourself up for SEO disaster. I know. It's a terrible name, but it's so funny that I can't stop it. How long would these podcast episodes be? The random one is about an hour, usually, when we were doing it, but we might try and shorten it to half an hour. The podcast with one player, or whatever, one person, would probably be around half an hour. And the one with multiple guests would probably be at least an hour, because it takes about an hour to really get into the stuff about that. Through the Grapevine would probably be about an hour. And then I also want to reboot Catch Up to Contenders in the run-up to the Atlantic and Pacific showdowns. But that wouldn't be in person. That would be online. So hopefully I'll be able to do some episodes of Catch Up to Contenders to set the stage for the Atlantic and Pacific showdown. But anyway, that's the idea. Okay, so anyway, back to regularly scheduled broadcast. Let's take a look at this then.
I assume that the
Blizzard World. So RunAway are defending with a composition that I've actually never seen in OWL before. So it's the support player playing Sombra. Let's think about this. They have no defensive support ultimates. They don't really want to play aggressive because they don't have the speed boost. Is he just going to relocate? Is he just... Well, but why would you ever scout what they're coming out of? Okay, he's literally just scouting. But the attacking team can change their comp. So why are you scouting the attacking team?
I think that's a very smart play. You don't really see it too often. Gonna come back.
You literally never see that. Actually. In at least in OWL, because that information is fairly useless, and you have to go back so quickly. I don't know.
Obviously, as we see, are still running the Sombra here.
Like if he stays there and waits a little bit, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the value of that is, but I suppose you might as well do it because he's straight back with the team.
I don't know.
I just don't know how valuable it really is to be able to assess what the attacking team has, because you can see it as soon as they actually come through the sightline, and whatever. Okay, I mean, it's early info if they're running some kind of DPS comp, I suppose.
Which is surprising.
I think the reason they're playing the frontline Sombra is notice how they're saving their bubble for Edison. They're saving armor pack for Edison and letting him do the poke because RunAway want to engage as soon as those cooldowns are used. But by having Edison be your front line, you can use your cooldowns on him to poke, and then he translocates away.
That is really cool what Avast is talking about here. I haven't really seen a team do this, where they play with such an aggressive Sombra, but they're giving all of their resources to the Sombra, which lets Edison farm EMP way faster than he really should. Like, most of the time, I'm sure you guys have seen this, Sombra will go on flanks and like put a translocator down somewhere and then do a bit of damage to everybody and then maybe get up a little bit, and then when they get pressured they have to go like back to their translocator. But instead they're using armor pack, and did they use bubble as well? I don't think they did. I think they're just using armor pack and healing onto Edison. That's allowing him to farm the front line.
I think the reason they're playing the frontline Sombra is notice how they're saving their bubble for Edison.
Yeah, they are saving bubble and armor pack.
And letting him do the poke because RunAway want to.
And you can't engage on a Sombra. So they've then got a very passive front line that RunAway can never get aggressive onto, and they have Edison really far forwards. Pretty cool.
But by having Edison be your front line, you can use your.
That's pretty sick. What's the counterplay to that? Just continue to go aggressive, play even more aggressive, hold more aggressively, I suppose. I don't hold back by point. Push up and hold here. I think you just have to turn the aggression up to fucking 11. But even if you turn the aggression all the way up, Juicy Busan are clearly just going to walk backwards and keep farming EMP. So if you go like super aggro, then Edison is just going to, I don't know, try and take high ground or flank around or something and build up the rest of his EMP. GC Busan Wave clearly have absolutely no interest in engaging before they have their EMP up. But the counterplay kind of is natural because they've taken a minute and haven't engaged at all. So it's not like it's de facto the next best strategy that's going to take Owl by storm. It seems like a really cool way of playing if you want to play around the EMPs, but you know there's going to be an EMP coming as soon as GC Busan Wave know that they're going to commit, which makes it predictable, and you only really get 2 fights.
And then he translocates away.
I suppose 2 fights, then 1 fight in overtime is probably what's going to happen.
That is an interesting strategy.
I mean, it's actually
It is super interesting, though. I think this is very creative. And it isn't really even that creative. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of obvious in retrospect. It's one of those cool strategies that seems like, oh, why didn't other people try and do this? Nice EMP. Finds 4 people. Nano is available, but they didn't get it in time because they just denied them any opportunity to engage.
This
Cool.
adjustment is actually one of the smartest adjustments I've
Cool.
ever seen.
Yeah, I agree with the Vast.
They get EMP before Gundam Jin can even get the nano up. I mean, they EMP him when he has like 99%.
That's fucking sick.
So there's obviously no nano in that fight.
That was really cool. All right, so what should RunAway have done? I mean, I'm definitely going to give RunAway the benefit of the doubt here. I'm not going to say that they should have known what to do against this because I don't think the Owl teams would necessarily know like the exact thing to do against this because it's a strat that I haven't seen anyone use it. But if you, at the very least, if you play super aggro, even though Edison is going to get his EMP up, you at least get your ults up, right? So the best thing you can do is just try and get as aggressive as possible because at least then you'll have the nano. At least then you'll have taken some damage on people. And I suppose, are there ways of denying Edison charge when he pokes just by saving your defense matrix for it or something? if you save Matrix and hold shield against it, I think RunAway were not prepared. But if you were prepared against GC Busan Wave and you knew they were going to do this, you would just hold shield and have somebody else scout to make sure that GC Busan Wave weren't planning to engage. And then occasionally you'd just pressure Edison away. Because if he takes these long sight lines, like if he... In an ideal world, if RunAway knew exactly what GC Busan Wave were going to do, I think what you should do, and I'm not saying that RunAway should have known this, don't get me wrong, this is not me shit-talking RunAway, I'm just saying that, you know, theory crafting about what you should do against this. If Edison is playing around here, and he's trying to spam you to get his ult charge, and they're putting bubbles on him, they're giving him armor pack and stuff, then probably just hard-holding shield and spamming him with your Zarya and your Zen, so that he does have to back off, is the best way of denying him ult charge. But you need somebody who's making sure that these guys aren't ready to engage. Because if you're hard holding shield and he's slowly chipping away at it and they actually do decide to engage and don't use their resources, then you could be caught pretty unaware. But then they've got the Sombra anyway, so yeah.
Kind of
The only thing that I'm...
go for a Sombra pressure on
The only thing that's a little weird here from RunAway is that they didn't decide at all to hard shield or Matrix. They just let him farm QOQ here. Oh, I suppose they do Matrix actually. They Matrix and they try and whip shot.
Yeah, he's kind of playing a frontline Sombra for that.
But it takes Mag a while to realize that he's just farming and to yeah. I think actually that aggression isn't the answer. Now that I've thought about it a little bit more. I think this strat of having Edison at the front works really well because the default is to go aggressive. But you would have to get so aggressive, and at the end of the day, the only thing that that aggression would net you is this ult. You wouldn't be able to really kill anybody. That's never going to happen. So at the end of the day, if you go as aggressive as you humanly can against this, I think the end result would just be that EMP is online and Nano is online, and you have to take that fight, which is still disadvantageous for the defending team. I think the big brain play here, if you know that they're going to do this kind of strat, is to hard shield and pressure out Edison and make sure that he doesn't just farm EMP. By going aggressive, that allows Edison to build his EMP really quickly. And you think you might be able to catch people, but you can't because GC Busan Wave are ready for it. So actually just playing passive and waiting until these guys commit and then going aggressive, it's very difficult to play around as the defending team, I think. Because you need to know where these players are. If they're really far back and they're ready to run away, you should be defensive to deny EMP charge, to deny the energy, the charge that he's building. But as soon as they're frontline, which is weird to say because Edison is actually the frontline, but as soon as their Rhine and Zarya actually push up to like this position, that's when you need to go aggressive on them. But when their frontline is all the way back here, your aggression is going to net you 0. So I think actually just playing defensive and denying ult charge is probably the best. So I think... But also, I mean, just a really intelligent adaptation from GC Busan Wave, because every team's brain says, we're playing against a Sombra, let's go aggressive.
And letting him do the poke because RunAway want to engage as soon as those...
But look what happens when they go aggressive. They're just getting kited for days.
But by having
So
you can use your cooldown
I think you one of the rare situations where you should be playing defensive against the Sombra. Because he's not going for hacks, he's just trying to farm EMP from the front.
Pretty well. They've built the EMP in a little under a minute. Edison's ready to go. So
No Diva, so you're relying on Ana to anti, then you can push aggressively, but you can't. The distance is just too far. Even if Gandam Jin lands a sick Bionade onto these guys, you will not be able to catch them in time because they're too far away. So it's the distance that's the big the big deal. It's like the spacing that GC Busan Wave have done is so different to how Sombra Goats normally plays that you have to adjust as the defensive team. And I don't think you can actually play aggro into this. But that's, as I said, that's not a fault of RunAway. I wouldn't expect a team to adjust to this first time.
And there comes Ion, drops a shatter right after. The cleanup's going to be there. And RunAway.
This adjustment is
Pressure Sombra to bait resources, then aggro on tanks. That is literally what they did, and it didn't work because they're too far away. You can't go aggro on their tanks because they are literally just going to speed boost away from you.
They just get blown off the first point.
So there's like half a point difference between your Rhine and their Rhine. How are you going to close that gap? If you go aggro, they just speed boost backwards. You're never going to close that gap. So it's impossible to actually go aggressive on them if their entire intention is to always be really far away. And they can give those resources from far away because it's armor pack and bubble, which you can give from a distance.
So we've entered the new world. The frontline Sombra supported
Zen for better poke on Sombra would be better than the Ana. I mean, the Ana is good for when they actually commit. So I think the Ana is still good. I think you just need to make sure you try and deny the Sombra EMP. But that only really works on that point. Like, they can't do that here. Because they'll just... If you ran Edison in ahead of your team here, it's not a strat that you can run it all the time. If Edison was running in at the front here, well, they just shoot Edison until he had to run back, and then they'd hold this choke. And now that the whole point of the game has shifted, you're no longer trying to capture an objective. You're trying to do a continuous push on the payload. So this strat isn't going to work in point B. You can go aggressive on payload portions because the enemy team has an objective that's constantly moving further towards you. But when they can just run away as far away as they like, then...
Sure. Three gets slept on top of the tank and booped in. That is an
Wait, what the hell happened here? Oh my god, wait, what? What is this sleep? What the fuck is this? That's insane. First of all, why is Free that far forwards? Just to generate charge because he doesn't think he's going to get punished. But, oh my god, sleep dart from Gangnam Jin. Some of Gangnam Jin's sleep darts have been insanity these past few games. He's very mechanically talented. And because this thing fucking rotates back and forth, it actually keeps like bringing them closer in. Look, he's like closer. He's closer now. So he gets booped in.
Oh. Slept on top of the tank and booped in. That is an, oh my goodness, what a mugging. What an absolute mugging. Yeah.
That's a crazy play. Wow.
Credit cards, ATM bank account was drained.
He did. He did get absolutely mugged.
Was done for free. He was done.
Goats is cool because you get to see supports excel a lot. I agree. I love seeing Lucio and Anna's and... Well, Zen was always having a big impact even last season in Dive, but Lucio, Anna, and Brig can even have some fantastic plays inside Goats. RNG and maps. I don't think that was really RNG though. Like, even if that had been statically positioned in one angle, Legion could have still got the boop. So, I don't think that was really anything to complain about in terms of RNG. It was just... I just mentioned it because it was like an interesting little side note as well.
The thing is about this swap in positions right here is that it was be better for GC Busan Wave. As you see, the counter grab, the beat, but the beat keeps him alive, and RunAway can't follow up without Shui on the front line. Can they hit 5 people get hit by the bounty?
Oh. A bomb isolates people, forces out the Transcendence. They reply with their own nano onto Hisu. Hisu generates 50%.
Either Delight or Edison dying there is really huge CP as you see the mag going down. I don't think Edison's going to commit the EMP either.
Okay, let's take a look at this fight from the beginning again. So they go aggressive with their grav. But they get counter-graved. Shui dies because they don't have the ult in time, I think, right? Oh no, they did have ult. Okay, they were just late with the ult. It's a nice Bionade, but they choose not to go aggressive on it, and I'm not really sure why they don't choose to go aggressive on the Bionade. Probably because it was in the middle of the ground, right?
The beat. Well, it was
I guess they threw the Bionade really early. The Bionade was about to wear off when they got released from the ground.
the counter grab. The beat.
Aramon224, thank you for the 3-month streak in terms of subscriptions. The bomb there is supposed to try and isolate people. Like, some might stay there, some might go in here. But GC Wave have actually decided already to go aggressive at the time. So the bomb is kind of late, a little strange. But it does force out the Trendsetters. A problem for RunAway is they don't have a trance of their own. So they have to nano. I think the nano, again, was probably supposed to go on Mag. But everyone was clumped up in a corner, and it goes on Hisu, and that's going to help him generate a little bit of charge, I suppose, anyway. But it doesn't. Mag ends up dying as a result. So it was probably intended to go on Mag, but everyone was clumped up in the corner.
Going down. I don't think Edison's going to commit the EMP either. The nades have been huge from Gundam Jin, but I can't believe they weren't able to find Delight or Edison.
And that was a rare moment where RunAway just, you know, even with the good.
Hisu was low, so they nanoed him. Was he actually low?
Positions right here is that it would be better for GC Busan Wave. You see the counter grab, the beat.
Sometimes I don't know whether to trust my chat.
RunAway can't follow up without Shui on the front line.
And they had 5 people get hit by the Bionade. They feel comfortable. Go for a self-destruct. Backboard against the wall.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Hisu was low. Yeah, you're right.
Last moment efforts here. Mag holding on to the shatter.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't unintentional. I think still that you might be able to. I think Hisu's just about to have his own bubble available. Hisu would probably survive even if you nanoed Mag there, because the nano on Mag draws attention to Mag, and Hisu can get heals and use his own bubble. But okay, it's not worth really digging into that much.
Catches them off guard, and now Edison has the EMP set up for the next fight.
Has the EMP, and even more importantly, is the EMP will help build Freeze Grav. So they could use the EMP.
Hello, Philwar22. Did Avast just do an Edison? When do you plan on continuing Sekiro? Whenever I finish this VOD.
He's going to be the one that's going to have the most important appeal for RunAway.
I'm going to start playing Sekiro. Okay, now they have the EMP. They used Rally to try and get aggressive, but they haven't really been able to. They see Edison, and they shatter Edison, and they just go for him. But the Grav is nice to peel for him. They've traded quite a lot. Hisu's weak, he should die. What is that? What is that Grav? Oh my god, wait, how did... Okay, this is a fucking wild fight. Alright, let's break this one down, because this one's crazy. British Hurricane VOD tomorrow. Wait the fuck. Oh, I'm getting called. Hello? Alright, okay, I'll come down in a second. Alright, no problem. Hello. It's fucking disgusting that someone threw a fucking crab at Hungry Box. It's also insane. What kind of fucked up weirdo does that? First of all, to even come up with the idea of doing it, and secondly, to think it's acceptable at all is insanity. It's not that big of a deal. Bro, he fucking launched a crab at his head after he won. FGC do not be like that. No, I don't think Hungry Box is objectively a shit dude at all. I think people just hate him because they think he killed the game. It's like if fucking Titans won playing goats in the final and someone threw a crab at Bumper's head. Throwing anything at a player is fucking very disrespectful. But also, crabs are fucking hard, man. Like, that actually could have really fucking hurt him. It's like if they threw a goat at Bumper. Well, that doesn't quite work, does it? What about flowers? I suppose. Okay. Donated £3 to say fantastic. Yep, that's anime for you. Ooh, what's this? Resub for 3 months, thank you. Every time I tune into Sideshow, he's eating halal. His bloodstream must be 60% white sauce by now. I've been corrupted by my chat. I tried it for the first time recently, and I fucking loved it. So now it's my go-to. The rest of the Titans wouldn't even let the crab hit Bumper. That's so true. That's so true. Am I doing British Hurricane straight after this? I was going to, but Bren wants to do Sekiro. So I'll do it tomorrow. Whoa! Vuxon has resub tier 2. Thank you. Thank you for the tier 2 sub for 11 months in a row. I put a dining table and chairs in that tiny ass room. This room actually isn't tiny. It's pretty big. It's like 10 foot by 10 foot or something. Maybe it's bigger than that. It's pretty sizable. But, yeah, I put a 3-foot table in the middle with some chairs. I'm going to set up podcasting stuff. All right, wait there. Let me mix this halal up, and then I'll be straight back with you. Oh, I just poured a load of tomato on the floor. You know when you're trying to color in between the lines and it goes everywhere? I get the same feeling when I'm stirring a bowl. I can't stir things without sloshing stuff out the sides. I don't have the dexterity to be able to stir, which might sound unbelievably dumb. But when I'm cooking and I stir food, I frequently, little pieces of it fly out the pan. I have to clean up every time I cook. Oh, I actually can't color inside the lines. I'm deadly serious when I say I cannot color inside the lines. I just can't do it. It always goes out. It always goes outside the lines. What? They want to close my mouth. Oh, fuck it. Jesus Christ. Alright. Well, there's a load of tomato on the floor, but here we go. Am I a 5-year-old? I think so. Mentally, perhaps. Alright, let's have a look. What if you run your own Sombra against that Sombra style? Well, the problem with that rat bot is that you'd have to know it was coming in the first place. So, it's not a good idea. As the defenders, you have to lock in your comp first, right? So, it doesn't work like that. Okay.
Back. EMP all set.
So let's take a look at this fight. Let's wind it back a little bit, actually. So, RunAway nearly have Grav, and they have Shatter. They've just used their rally, and they know that they're playing into Grav Shatter from the other side, but crucially the EMP is live. So they're trying to play around the EMP. So they spot Edison.
All set.
They see Edison here, and they know that he has EMP. So Mag sees an opportunity. Instead of shattering these guys, which is gonna, I mean, it could result in a fight win, but it's more risky, obviously, to try and shatter a Ryan Zarya without any setup. You have to get the timing really well. But Edison is out there on his own. So they shatter Edison, and that takes the EMP potentially out of the fight.
First stream I've caught in a while. Probably since I went gifted sub crazy during the Al streams. Much love.
Thank you, Appearing Cloud9. Really appreciate that. Thanks for the donation. Well, I guess we're not reviewing this fight for a while. Sideshow donated £3. I think I did.
Josh Sideshow Wilkinson is a freelance writer, analyst, and caster from the United Kingdom.
It's true.
He was previously a Team Fortress 2 caster, commentator, and expert for Team Fortress TV, as well as a player. He currently writes for and is a co-host of the S.
I don't currently write for Over.gg. And I'm not a host of the podcast Through the Grapevine anymore. Alright. This fight. So, Mag shatters Edison. Tries to take him out of the fight. But they need to kill Edison before he comes back up. But Edison is so far away at this point, it's actually going to be really difficult to be able to get onto him. Because when you all int to try and kill Edison, these guys are going to collapse on you. And these guys are going to kill the people that are trying to kill Edison. And if you trade Edison for like 3 players, I mean, you've already lost the fight anyway. So at worst, you kind of want to go 2 for 1 and maybe kill the rest of these guys. So they go aggressive, and Free uses his Grav to peel. So Edison does die, but the Grav attempt was there to stop people going onto Edison. Now, if you're going to do that, then the Grav, if he had reacted quicker, a Grav here would have stopped Edison dying. But he didn't react quickly enough, and he kind of just grabbed everyone on top of him. But alright, the attempt was there, and they've still managed to grab this. They do a lot of damage. DJ Gon dies. Shui is weak as well. Hisu's also really weak. So the two Zaryas get into a duel here. But the problem is that their Rhine and their Zarya are back here getting pressured. And Fielder, I don't think, manages to get his trans up in time. Oh, no, he does get his trans in time. But he just chooses to die with it. Oh. Okay. If he had chosen to use the trans, I think they definitely win this fight. But now, it's just the Lucio and the Zarya. So, who knows? That was a very strange fight, though. Appearing Cloud9, thank you for the 5 gifted subs! You've gifted a total of 105 in this channel. Holy shit, thank you. Thank you. Big pog, big pog. All right. Pog, 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 pog. So really the issue there in that fight was that both teams ended up being very split. RunAway went for something super ambitious. Whoa, what the fuck? Okay, I don't know what's happening there. They went for something very ambitious. And the focus fire wasn't good enough from these guys. When they kill Shui and they kill Li Jigon here, it should be Free's job to try and help these guys and make sure that he relieves pressure from them. But instead, he goes forwards and doesn't realize that nobody can follow up with him to be able to kill Hisu. So even though they get the kill on Hisu and the grab ends up being forced out, the fact that they got the Rhine, it's now a 3v3, they choose not to invest the trans. I think they probably should have invested the trans here. I think this is a mistake from Fielder not to. When you have your Zarya up and the other Zarya isn't up, I think you can win that fight. Weird. What? Okay, I have no idea what that donation was.
Hold on, and Mag, I mean, just cleaning up, investing in the Shatter late in the fight after Ion Shatter. He's cleaned up because Ion dropped Shatter, and then he doesn't really get anything out of it. He just loses it. Really does not get much value. And Mag's able to drop the counter Shatter, clean up. So GC Busan Wave, they still didn't invest the EMP though. So this next fight, I imagine we'll be seeing the nano here from Gundam Jin just used to keep someone alive. Actually, they're going to engage very early. Duo kill. EMP,
So
though.
this is an attempt.
So this next fight, I imagine we'll be seeing
at a bomb engage.
The nano here from Gundam.
But they're not going aggressive with everyone. What's the plan here from RunAway? I don't really understand. They're not going aggressive with Hisu, so they're not actually trying to kill people. So I think what they're hoping is that they'll bust their EMP or bust their trance.
Oh no, 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 oh. No, oh 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 no. No, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Thank you, Formation.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
I have a magic button next to me that mutes notifications, and I'm not afraid to use it. Come at me. All right. Anyway. So that self-destruct was very odd. That wasn't a set play with RunAway where they were looking to isolate somebody. It was super ambitious. EMPs come through. Nano was nice though. Again, saved somebody. But they're not using their EMPs and then in a position where they have a target that they can easily go onto. Like, why don't they go on Shui? Well, I suppose they demech the Diva, but that's like the least valuable pick that you could get.
This early exchange here, QOQ gonna lose mech.
It's a nice attempt. Oh my god, he randomly finds.
I'm not afraid of you.
The Lucio. Get fucked. Dribble Slayer, you should be afraid of me. I've got the power to mute you. And I just did. I used it.
But we'll get cleaned up now.
I'm kind of amazed at how little value GC Busan, and just in general, the Korean Contenders teams are getting out of their EMPs. They're not using them in the middle of the engagements. But also, RunAway are very good at being able to speed out, or nano boost, or just disengage in general. But GC Busan Wave are rolling through this final fight.
As Daydream getting a lot of frags there, clean up. And GC Busan Wave, I think, they definitely have by no means figured out RunAway style, but they're doing a great job of playing around the Sombra and getting as much value as they can. Because
what is this shirt that I have on? It's an alt shirt.
Rather than a poke, means they don't have to worry about Kyoku zoning him.
There's a link in my Twitch description if you're interested.
It's all about the brute force pressure.
Actually, do they sell this one at the moment? I don't know whether they sell this one right now. Wow! Another 5 gifted subs! A total of 110 in the channel. Holy fuck. Appearing Cloud 9, thank you. Never lucky, aimbot logic. Never lucky. Never lucky. Pog, gifted subs, Pog. Gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. That's as many as 11 10s. It's true. It's true. Alright. So RunAway decided to use their grav here. It gets tranced. They don't have a bomb. Alright, let's take a look at this one though. This is a time where RunAway are using grav to win a fight. So this is the weird shit that I'm seeing all the time as well. Alright. So Hisu throws in his grav. Throws in the grav. But he knows that it's going to get tranced. Or at least highly suspects that it's going to get tranced. But instead of going forwards and doing damage in it, and using his personal bubble, or someone else's bubble, or a brig shield, or something, to isolate a target from the trance and kill them, he just sits passive. Or just sits back here. Now maybe they're anticipating the EMP or the grav itself, and they're worried about it. But it seems like their game plan is just to nano mag and hope that he kills someone inside the grav. But that's not a good plan. But they did use grav nano to force out grav EMP trance and rally. So they still come out on the better end of it, but I think that fight was winnable for them. Maybe. Like for example, if you save the nano and just try and get a pick through the trance healing, if you're able to get either a pin or a bubble from the Zarya to isolate the transcendence healing from everybody, and you're able to focus down the target and kill them, then you can use the nano afterwards to try and save yourself from the EMP that's going to follow in the player advantage scenario. But I'm not sure. Apparent Cloud9 gifted 1 sub to Demool. To Demool. How kind and specific. When was this match? It was pretty recently, I think. RunAway GC Busan wave. Am I leaking anything by doing that? I'm going to do it here. Why am I not doing it there? When was this game? It was April 17th, so it was 5 days ago. So this was less than a week ago that this game happened. RunAway versus Element Mystic in 1.5 days. Are you going to review that? Yeah, I probably will. But I can't review it today because it hasn't happened. Okay, this is an opportunity for RunAway to play aggressive when this EMP isn't up. Thank you. At donated £3 with at. Wow. I think there's a hidden message in there somewhere. We should all use Twitter more. Kyoku's been demeched trying to pressure Edison. So here's Kyoku. He goes over here to try and pressure Edison. Edison takes armor pack. And then Kyoku's already used his boosters. Doesn't hide to wait for his boosters and just gets demeched. And for some reason, RunAway are not playing aggro. I don't know why they're not playing aggro. They should be holding way further forwards. The whole of RunAway should be holding here. Against this Sombra. Because you want to play aggro to deny them the opportunity to... Like, they can build much faster if they have space. If they have all of the space and control over this, they can build quicker. And also, they are just not... You're not punishing them for running the Sombra. You're not forcing them to reset and go back to spawn. And take more time. But they're just giving them all the space in the world. And then QOQ's out on a little island, gets demegged, and then that's when they decide to poke a little bit. This is very indecisive from RunAway. Normally they're good against Sombra. Oh my god, then Lee Gon goes and tries to pressure Edison. So, no, maybe he doesn't try. Well, no, he must have been trying to pressure him because Edison is, Edison's over here. Where's Lee Gon? Yeah, Lee Gon's, so Lee Gon goes over here to try and take the fight against Edison and pressure him out so that he can't build EMP. But it's like, it's super fucking strange. I don't know why RunAway are doing this. They've yeeted their Diva in, and he got demegged, and now they've yeeted their Lucio in, and he's about to get hacked and killed. Lee Gon just misses a couple of shots on Edison, and that's enough time for Edison to be able to get the hack on him, and then kill him.
Stepping forward, RunAway, looking scared, Lee Gon is down!
Nice sleep. So they attempted a sleep shatter
Josh,
there.
respectfully, they defeated Jang. You have a hunch? Bad hunch. Look at the history and caliber of players British Hurricanes defeated on their undefeated streak. You take it back. You go watch some Contenders Europe VODs. Experience the coordination.
Appearing Cloud9 with 1,500 bits. Imagine not being number one on bit donos. Imagine. Imagine not being number one. Thank you, Appearing Cloud9.
Geez, stop gifting subs to this man. He already gets paid ludicrous amounts of money by Activision Blizzard to sell their loot boxes to children on Disney XD. This is the problem with capitalism. People in positions of power and influence just get richer. WH.
I agree. People in positions of power just get WH. Eat the rich. Are you ready, chat? We're so close to being able to eat the rich. I got my fork. You bring the knife. We'll eat the fucking rich. Eat the rich! That'll be our chant as we take to the streets. With our pitchforks and butter knives. Ah! I just threw rice everywhere again. Fucking rich people! I just threw white sauce on the floor. Eat the rice. Eat the rice. Alright. Let's rewind this fight a little bit. So, QLQ is demegged, and Lee Gon dies. And yet Busan Wave still get the worst end of this engagement.
Eat me, dad, got you.
This sleep dart is huge. It's unbelievable. The bubble goes on. He's got the Brig shield in front of him. But when the bubble comes off and the Brig shield gets dropped, that's when Mag goes for the shatter. Delight dies. He gives his life for Ion. Ion gets bionaded. But they could still win this. Because they're about to get Grav, which they've been able to build because RunAway gave them so much space. And they've nearly got their EMP. But okay, they want to reset. They want the EMP first. So Gangnam Jin absolutely clutches again. I would say that Gangnam Jin... I would say Lee Gon and Gangnam Jin are easily the two best players on this team. And I would also say that Gangnam Jin's Ana is quite a bit better than his Zen.
Going for shatter, he lost the shatter from the sleep. Did not have that up anymore.
His Ana seems fantastically clutch.
Edison has another EMP. He's ready to go. RunAway holding back. Grav talking to be used here early. Self-destruct. Buying a little bit of time. Gets stuck on the payload.
EMP's at a weird time.
Holding back.
So look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So they're approaching, and they have double support ult, Grav, and EMP. So they push Mag pretty far forwards, because they want Mag to be the guy that gets grabbed and EMP'd because they've got the nano to save him. Same shit that they do with Bumper. So the grab goes out, they barrier everybody, and the nano gets used on Shui to make sure that he stays alive. Or, wait, no, it went on Mag, sorry. It went on Mag. So the barrier saves them both, and then the nano is on Mag. And even though he gets EMP'd, how do they not get the kill on Shui though, honestly?
Payload. Run away. Holding back. He's ready to go. Run away, holding back. Ground talk to be used here early.
The bomb is nice defensive as well.
Buying a little bit of time. Get stuck on the payload. Run away.
Just did a lot of damage to Free.
Moving forward. Hisu's down. The EMP does enough to get at least that.
They're pretty good at being able to use their ults defensively to survive. They got a nice peel style. Ooh, that was pretty sweet from Mag as well. Nice shadow under pressure, but too much pressure. Hisu goes forward, goes aggressive, but GC Busan were going to win this. They had too many ults, including the EMP. But it was a nice attempt from RunAway to be able to peel. The D.Va ult was good. The Nano was... The Nano was early, but it was okay. Like, this is another thing. This is Gangnam Jin is like scared of the EMP. So if we've rewound this fight, they get grabbed, and the sound barrier comes out. These players should be EMP'd pretty much instantly, which they are. But the Nano has already come out because he's scared of the EMP. But it seems like RunAway just really don't give a fuck about using sound barrier into EMP because they're so spread. There's like some players around here, some players around here, some players around here. Sound barrier goes in a wave, right? Like sound barrier hits all of these places. But the EMP has a smaller radius, so it has to be kind of targeted on one group of players. So the EMP really only catches people that are in the grab, removes the shields from them, hacks them, but they managed to do enough damage to stop the follow-up, or at least mitigate it. So I don't mind it. It's pretty decent play from RunAway on the defense. Thank you, Big Goose. Thank you.
You know, usually when teams try and run front lines,
inventive plays for Som.
It's a nice little pink number. Should really be purple, but I don't decide the colors.
In terms of playing around Sombra, 2 RunAway style and against the 3-3 style that I've seen in a while is having the Edison frontline Sombra. He's not really worried about harassing the backline, or I mean, he's getting still a good strong poke, but he's just playing a lot more aggressive frontline Sombra, where it disables RunAway in terms of let's make Sombra translocate and then run into them.
Yeah.
Because he's there with the team.
Well, it also works out in the sense that you're getting EMP quicker, and the name of the game for Somerset is...
Now, you can't play the frontline Sombra here for Edison. Dope! Gifted a tier 1 sub to Big Goose. Thank you! Alright. I've asked talking about this style of the frontline Sombra, but you can only do that in certain situations. You can't do that here, because if you play with Edison in your front line, say Edison is here, and he's trying to farm ult, and you run at Edison, let me use a different color. You run at Edison, they're going to give resources to Edison, but if you just keep going aggressive, there's nowhere really for this front line that you want to engage into, there's nowhere really for them to back off to. If they back off, they just lose the point. Whereas on the offense, they could back off forever because all they cared about was waiting for the EMP and making sure they didn't give you ults. But now that the positions have swapped, the point is just changes the fight completely. If RunAway contest the point, GC Busan at some point have to fight them. So you can't just play this style where Edison farms ult from the front because you just play the point. But you can't play the point if you're on defense because you're defending the point.
Now Edison very low here. Daydream sleeping on the side. A little bit of ability
So the front line has to be closer. So remember I was talking so much about spacing when they were attacking, when GC Busan Wave were attacking, because the spacing between them was like, they were here and the other front line was here, and there was huge distance between them. And now, one front line is here and the other front line is here, and there's a very small amount of space between them. So the spacing is totally different, which means that RunAway now can actually just get aggressive. Fucking Christ. Appearing Cloud9 gifted 10 tier 1 subs, and I inhaled a piece of halal. Oh. The Rich donated £3 and said, "Eat me, Dad." Matrix Operator said, gifted £2 and said, "I gave my sub to Avast because you stopped analyzing OWL matches, you lazy degenerate. I'm also working on OWL. It happens to be at the same time." Thank you for the 10 gifted subs, Appearing Cloud9. Oh, fucking hell. Alright. So now they can play aggro. Because by playing the point, they drag GC Busan Wave's frontline forward. So they managed to take down Delight. But the EMP is going to turn this. Edison's doing a great job of being able to farm. I think Edison is one of the best talents of whenever he turns 18. Is it 2020? Maybe it's 2021. He's pretty young. But he's a really fucking good player, I think.
Frontline Sombra. He's in the heat. He's in the midst of the fight. DPS here against CP3.
It's an unexpected twist. One that's been working out. They repel RunAway on the
Bum
first
bum
attack.
bum 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 bum. Okay, so now RunAway have got another opportunity to engage. This time they're fighting into a grav. Free was able to get more grav out because Hisu got EMP'd in the previous one. And
I mean, they also do have
they got cleaned up, so. So the grav here is a potential win condition. It should be. Oh, it got eaten. Okay. Huge eat by QOQ. Who's on the high ground? So they counter grav. It's going to get tranced. Wait, what? Okay, it should have been trans, but they already used trans. Why did GC Busan Wave use trans?
Immediately, despite not having the EMP up, they will have to touch. There's a rally out from Shui. And their free is close to the grab, so they have.
Okay, so GC Busan Wave drop down. When their grav gets eaten, they trans. So grav gets eaten. They're worried their front line's going to get overwhelmed. So they trance. But they just immediately get grabbed and then they die afterwards because they use their trance aggressively into a team that has grav. So ways of instantly losing fights.
2 minutes off point, it's still required. RunAway to use the rally, the nano, the
I mean,
grab.
that's the kind of situation when wait there, where is it? So here, where they drop down an Ion is on the floor. So they've already used their bubble. And Ion gets bashed, and he's weak. And they use the grav to see if they can peel for him. But then Ion's still really weak. But he's kind of backed up a little bit. But this is the situation where the best teams make use of their Brigitte playing aggressive and being able to either bash people or stop him getting bashed in the first place, or whip shot people away. Or if they were running a Diva, booping people away, or their Lucio booping people away, so that you don't have to invest the trance just to save someone. If it gets to the point where you're investing trance just to save your Rhine, you're gonna lose the fight anyway. At that point, it's too late. You've already fucked up. And I can't really see exactly who it should have been that was supposed to be peeling a bit more, but it's probably the Brig or the Lucio probably should have been a bit more aggressively peeling.
2 minutes off point, it's still required.
But it's kind of, when you use the grav and it gets eaten, you are expecting to go aggressive rather than have to peel for your Rhine. So it's tough to adjust from one to the other immediately.
From GC Busan Wave, more that, like, especially when you're going in against a team that's as heavily favored as RunAway, that they've been able to fight it evenly, where getting 2 minutes off point A, that's even exchange in my books. It's not bad for the offense, not bad for the defense.
See GC Busan moving in here, moving up the high ground. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that the EMP Shatter set up. They should know that Li Zhigang has beat, so he's going to be hiding, he's running away. Gangnam also going to be playing extremely split so they can have that nade for the heal boost up.
RunAway is playing split here. I think they thought the MP was heading in, but if you're GC Busan Wave, you're milking this as much as you can. You're waiting as long as possible. Now, you have to dodge a bomb that's on the way in.
Nade.
Yeah, so what ZP is saying here is what I was wondering as well. Why are RunAway playing so passive against the EMP? Because GC Busan Wave will not EMP until you commit, or they shouldn't. Because they're perfectly happy to just stand here and take time off the clock. So for RunAway, setting up like a boop shatter combo could be a decent idea. You know, send Li Zhigang around here, boop, then shatter. Or try and play aggressive with this self-destruct. And it's the self-destruct they end up playing aggressive with. So Grav comes in. And I can't explain to you why the Zarya just ran in. Why did Free run forwards?
I think they thought the MP was heading in, but if you're GC Busan Wave, you're milking this as much as you can. You're waiting.
Can anyone explain to me why this Zarya went forwards? Am I missing something? Where is Li Zhigang? It's normally Li Zhigang. No, he's up here. So Li Zhigang's up here. Does he loop all the way behind? Oh, it is Li Zhigang. No, wait. No, he's back there. That's Li Zhigang. Why does Free run forwards? Free is the only player that runs forwards. Everyone else backs up to shield from this bomb. He has his personal bubble, so he could have stood anywhere, and he ints forwards. And I have no idea why. And then obviously he gets booped in at that point. Because of course you are. But what did he do? I mean, there was nobody booped him. He just ran forwards.
Extremely split so they can have that nade for the heal boost up.
RunAway is playing split here. I think they thought the MP was heading in, but if you're GC Busan Wave, you're milking this as much as you can. You're waiting.
He just straight up ran forwards. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but that's the biggest feed.
Free gets displaced, booped in to the den of death on the other side. RunAway able to take that. GC Busan, they have no choice but to back out.
They have no choice but to back up, but they still
was the bomb about to? Even if he used he doesn't use bubble. He uses bubble there. He didn't use bubble then. He used bubble there. I don't think it was about to come off. I mean, maybe it was. But he could have just backed up with his Ryan anyway. Why does he even move forwards? I don't fucking know. That's the wrong play. Whatever the reasoning was, it doesn't really matter what the reasoning was. It was the wrong play.
Really, when you look at RunAway, it's gotten much better for them.
And it's a fight loser.
Because Gangnam will have a Nano. And Nano is a great way to help mitigate the power of the EMP.
Well, he doesn't have it up yet. GC Busan Wave could strike
It's gotten
Where was that?
Not just because they win that fight using only bomb. Because Gangnam
So Edison is here.
will have a Nano. And Nano is a great way to help mitigate the power of the EMP.
And he just gets sniped. Hisu on the high ground.
Well, that is also a great
They're doing a really good job at pressuring Edison. And that's one of the issues with them being that far forward.
Well, that is also a great way to mitigate the power if there's no EMP on the field.
RunAway is going to milk this for as much as they can. They're going to run forward. They're going to drop the shatter.
Huge shatter. I don't think there was even any setup on that shatter. I think he just
too late. They were hoping there was a great peel from Daisy.
outplayed Ion.
He's able to get the boop to keep Fielder up alive, but
I am milking. I am watching the VOD. I am milking. I am watching the VOD in 1080p.
They lose the point. And RunAway commit ults. I mean, they commit grab, commit rally, commit nano, and the shatter, but Mag's already at 64%. But look at the time bank. They have 4 minutes for last. GG Busan Wave are now in the situation with Sombra where, you know, once you finally use this EMP, if you finally use the EMP, then you don't have it for the next fight. So
I don't know what's going on in my chart right now.
Also the part here too where they used every bit of time bank possible going in here. So if RunAway finishes with 1 minute and 1 second, guess what? That's likely going to be the map for RunAway. They'll get an uncontested attack, and the grab is eaten. Free goes for the grab. It finishes with 1 minute and
Let's
1
take a look
second.
at this.
Guess what? That's likely going to be the map for RunAway.
I don't really understand why they're trying to engage off the grab anyway. Maybe grab, force out sound barrier, go in with EMP. Is that the idea? The thing is though, you don't need to combo grab EMP. You can just win off EMP. You should be, the owl teams use grav to build up EMP and then EMP to build up grav, and they have this kind of swing swung between the two major fight winning ultimates that they have. But these teams tend to try and sync them both up because they can't win just based off one. Or they're less likely to win based off one. Now, having said that, my hunch at the beginning of doing this VOD review session was that RunAway would wait for grab bomb too much, and I haven't noticed that really. I think they're occasionally not aggressive enough, but like for this fight where they have bomb, I'm pretty sure they're just going to use bomb aggro. I don't think they'll wait for Hisu.
They need to run.
And the scary thing about this is that because they have to wait longer,
but maybe they will. We'll see. They're obviously only going to engage when they need to engage.
Not that close to the EMP either. So they don't have a lot of.
But a bomb engagement here could be huge.
I'm RunAway and I'm looking at this fight. I know I can commit soon.
Okay, bomb engage. They nano early.
Self-destruct directly to the back, connects on the free. And QOQ, he has just been.
And then they throw down the shatter as well.
In all aspects of the game right now.
So that's pretty nice, but I also think they're using nanos too early. This is the same situation that I was complaining about on King's Row, where like, why are you giving Mag the nano here? He doesn't get speed boost, and he's still, I don't know, 5 meters. It doesn't really matter how far that is, but he's still a good distance away from the first person that he could do damage to. And you know that the whole of GC Busan wave are going to start moving backwards because you've just thrown an ult at them. So even though I like the play, you know, I like the aggression, I like the fact that they throw the Diva Bomb in and they follow it up and they have the nano available as well, but they don't get the max value out of this nano at all.
Oh, they do just self-destruct directly to the back, connects on the free.
But Mag's got a good idea of when to shatter most of the time. He's had one shatter that was horrific this game, but most of them have been pretty good.
And this might be it. The graviton for the cleanup. Edison is down. No EMP is walking through that door. As RunAway gets the last little bit of cleanup here. It's going to give them an uncontested attack round. GC Busan will not get another attack in this map, which means that RunAway now very likely to go up 2-0 here at the half.
And really, when I look
the stream title's been updated to how could RunAway be that? How could RunAway be that great if they've never beaten Shoes Money Crew? It's true. It's true. It's true.
So many crucial moments in the last 2 meet in multi camp.
All right, let's take a look at this.
I think it's just a classic mess around and spawn.
I think I saw someone in chat. Yeah, I'll give a quick summary of my opinion after this. I think someone in my chat, well, not after this map, after this VOD.
No changes for RunAway.
I think someone in my chat was asking something about the ordering of players. Like the way that they do this. Korean contenders, because they're not there in person, they don't have to sync up with the seating arrangement. So they can put these players in the lobby in whatever order they want. So they always put Ryan, Diva, Zarya, Brigitte, Lucio, Zen. You know, it's like tanks, DPS, and then supports. In Owl, the way that they appear on the top correlates to the way that they sit. Because the way it goes is like, the guy is here, and then as he plays the game, there's a video underneath him showing his shit. And like there's a video, no wait, is there? I think there is. Something like that. Not showing his POV, but like showing his player or something. Or I don't know, I can't remember. But there's like a big, the main screen is here. Say this guy's on the right hand side of the stage. The main screen is here where all the action is going on. But on this side, there's like 6 divisions. And this person at the number 1 position would be here. And the person at the number 2 position would be here. And so the way that they enter the lobby affects how the visuals within the arena work. Which means that the way they appear in the UI is dictated by how the teams want to sit. Not how we would like to order them for ease of viewing. So, The video feed below them's the player cam. Yeah, it's the player cam. I remember now. Yeah. Yeah. So. So that's a major difference in terms of the layout of the UI, which I think someone was asking about earlier.
Which, bear in mind, the last defense of GC Busan Wave that had...
Yeah, the teams are free to sit however they want. The league doesn't want to mess with, you know, like the strategy of how the teams want to sit. If they want to, you know, group up so that they're next to the person that they communicate with the most, so that they can like look at their screen or whatever. I mean, that's all fine. So.
That worked. They had Sombra and they had a lot.
Mr. Sideshow, I have a question. What's a DPS? It's a damage dealer. It's a Zarya. It's a Brigitte.
Rotate from the left side, fight the point.
So GC Busan Wave have decided not to play the Sombra on the defense. It didn't work for them particularly well. Mag took a lot of damage there. QOQ with nice pressure. So this is quite nice. So Mag takes so much damage here. The bubble is slightly late, and he initially takes just a shit ton of damage from these guys, and they don't manage to isolate anybody off the back of it. So normally this would be an instant loss. It might still be a loss as well. But I think what you're about to see is QOQ go through and like boot people away to try and make space for him and take a more aggressive position. So Hisu steps forward with his projected bubble. Probably should have done that a bit earlier. Probably should have been playing a bit more aggressive just in general, but alright. At this point in time, it's very much required. And then QOQ charges through to try and peel for people as well. And then Mag actually finds a pin on the D.Va. So they trade their main tank for the D.Va. And because Ion overchased... Oh my god. Ion overchases and gets booped by Li Zhegon. So Mag manages to wiggle his way behind the corner because these guys peel for him, which is good. It's a little late, but it's good. And then he charges through. He should have been killed while he was charging, but presumably he got a bubble or something. Did he get a bubble? No, he can't have had a bubble. So I mean, he should have been killed here. He should have been killed while he's charging, but he manages to escape. GC Busan Waves don't know what the fuck is happening. And when Ion chases, he gets booped by Li Zhegon and lands way too far in. And no, he gets, well, maybe he gets whip shot the first time then, because Li Zhegon just boops him again. So he got booped by, I think he got whip shot the first time, and then he got booped by Li Zhegon the second time. But either way, there's like a double boop there that happens to Mag. Sorry, happens to Ion. That does it. So this is like some classic Vancouver Titans shit, where Bumper gets super weak, but they punish the people going on Bumper so well that that they're able to win the fight. Now, this is the kind of stuff that Titans do all the time. He takes so much damage. Even then, I'm surprised that he survived. These three act as like bodyguards. They peel these people away. You know, not Shui, sorry. Delight probably should have gone aggressive there. Obviously, Edison is going aggressive as well, trying to kill Mag. The D.Va did as well. It's not like GC Busan Wave play this perfectly as well. They need to push these people away and set up Free on the high ground. Free just kind of runs at Mag to try and get the kill, but instead he should be jumping up here, sitting on the high ground, and continuing to like damage him. Continue to rain damage onto him, and then you can't get caught out. And just the fact that you have the high ground means that if Mag shields, he's only going to be if Mag shields, he's only going to be able to block damage from like Edison and Fielder. He's not going to be able to block damage from you as well, because you're going to be set up behind him. Free's going to be set up behind him.
I know they're saying the bubble for him, but even then, our pack gets onto it last. What he's able to. And
also, when this guy charges in like a crazy motherfucker, they should have just gone on the other players. Like if you've failed to kill him and he's now in Narnia, just kill these guys. You got a Zen and a Brig on half health right in front of you. Oh, not a Zen and a Brig. That was a Luciano Brig. Slightly more difficult to kill actually. I thought it was a Zen. But this is yeah, this is the classic punish the people who are trying to fuck over your Rhine style of play that Titans are the best at, but also NYXL do really well as well.
Reinhardt with no shield health, like sub 100 HP.
There you go.
Not only get out.
So that was pretty good from RunAway. That team fight, and in general they've been pretty good at playing against the Sombra. They struggled a little bit against Edison's style of Sombra, but it seems like they made adjustments later on in the game.
Edison gonna be in their face early here on Sombra.
You see, they're doing the let's give Edison cooldowns as he just dodges around. Doesn't actually get too much poke there.
That's more of a backline harass rather than a frontline Sombra, you know. But he'll probably do the same kind of stuff now.
See Edison, he's just committing so aggressively. He actually gets a lot of damage on the Gundam Jin.
Gets good damage, but RunAway have almost completed their rotation.
So, but this strat all revolves around Edison getting charge. If Edison doesn't get charge and EMP for the fight, then all you've done is invest resources onto a Sombra, and then you have to drop to contest the point anyway on defense. It works fantastically well on offense because you can just wait for the EMP. But you can't wait for the EMP on defense. They'll cap. So at some point you have to come and contest. And then you better hope that Edison has his EMP, otherwise you'll lose the fight. Because he's not going for hacks that are going to help you in the fight. He's just going for the EMP. So. But they are... Volsky is big enough that they're able to actually throw some people down on the point and have contests.
He's looking for the ante.
And now they're pushing them. So that's a nice rotation by GC Busan Wave, but RunAway should have just stayed on the point. There's no need to go aggressive and force the fight. You could just play the point here. If they start... So, let's look at this. So RunAway play the point, and that's all you need to do against this strat. Because all you need to do is go on the point, you drag these players down, and then you kill these players before Edison gets his EMP. Because Edison's not going to get hacks on you and stuff like that. Instead, what they do is they get kind of spooked by the fact that Edison contests the point, and they don't think that playing the point will work. Like, so, wait, let me get an angle on it. So now the point is being blocked. So this is the first time that the point has been blocked, just before they get the first tick. But it's Edison that's blocking the point. Edison is over there blocking the point. And so if you just spam him a little bit, I mean, he's a fucking Sombra. He's not going to be able to stay on the point forever. So they spam him.
If they don't put somebody on the point.
They spam him. He has to get... Oh, he takes a bubble, but then he translocates away. Oh, does he?
He's looking.
I think he takes a bubble and then disappears at some point. But if you stay on the point down there, at some point you are going to force Edison away. And if you just hard hold your shield against Edison, he's not going to be able to get... He's not going to be able to contest you forever. And then you force the rest of the team into you. And then you can push aggressive on them. But here, they push up the stairs, but GC Busan Wave are so ready for it. So they just rotate away.
For the ante.
The flanking Ana.
He's looking for the ante. Doesn't catch anyone with the sleep either.
So now they're just going to do the same thing again. Now they're just going to play the point.
This is such a quick build right now from Edison. They still needs a little bit more of the pressure on the point.
But they've given up 2 ticks now.
90% though for Edison.
They've just given up 2 ticks without doing anything. Look at this defense. They've given up 2 ticks before they get 1 EMP. You could literally just lose this fight and get a and come back in the next time and you'll win.
In the first fight,
they're not going to, because you can still win the fight when Edison uses EMP if you play it really well. Banking on the fact that Gundam Jin has his ult and you spread out correctly and stuff like that, and you put pressure on Edison so he has to force a poorer EMP. But in theory, how does the break die? So they spread people around, they play aggressive with Mag. The aggression from Mag forces out the EMP, and it catches 4 players. But it doesn't catch Hisu, it doesn't catch Gundam Jin. So Gundam Jin can still use his nano if he manages to get it. So he's healing QOQ in order to get his nano. Then he nanos Mag to keep him alive. And they kill Delight. How did they kill Delight? I guess Delight just went too aggro.
RunAway.
Yeah.
Gonna give the EMP, but they immediately dive on Delight even as they head in. The nano boost came out from Gundam Jin just in time on Mag, and it makes this fight a lot more even. Mag going for the charge. She's not gonna connect. But then back the other way. QOQ gonna get DMAC, but still winnable here for RunAway.
And two anti though. Gundam Jin hits a huge anti. It makes GC Busan Wave have to run.
So they should definitely win this fight in the end
because
here,
of that,
RunAway.
Fielder's transcendence is just, you know, wasted because if you can't heal 2 people,
If you don't kill somebody in the EMP,
it was really pointless.
you are totally fucked. And here, when they actually throw out the EMP, Shui is saving his armor pack for Mag as well. So Shui manages to get the armor pack on him just before they engage the EMP. So Mag looked like he was really weak, and it looked like it was a great time to use EMP, but the armor pack comes in, and suddenly he's much tankier and gets the nano boost. So this is really nice from RunAway. RunAway are at their best when they play against Sombra Goats, I think. And when they play the Ana. I think it's the big thing is the Ana. They were much better with Ana than they were with Zen. The Zen play, some of their trances were... Gundam Jin's very, very clutch on Ana.
And also because of that, Fielder's transcendence is just, you know, wasted because if you can't heal 2 people, then it was pointless. It was really pointless to use it all. And RunAway now, they can move. This is a snowball. This is a snowball right here. We can see it happening. Hisu will probably get grabbed.
How long have I been reviewing RunAway VODs? Since I started streaming today. It is kind of weird that Lucio's aura turns off completely when he's hacked. I kind of liked how it was before, where you couldn't use amp up, but whatever you were hacked on, it stayed on.
Stagger the O team, you get to the point before they can even set up. You know that they don't have an EMP ready. You have ults in reserve. Mag with a shatter that could end this so quickly here at the point. They already have almost everything. And now
They solo grabbed Hisu.
It'd be a good spot, but actually Busan, after coming back in, they get 2. End this. What you want, where you not only stagger the O team.
That's a good use of the grab. So Hisu takes high ground, which is pretty reasonable, but then gets solo grabbed.
So quickly here at the point, they already have
And nobody can really peel for him. And then that turns the fight pretty massively. Yeah, I'm playing with Bren today. I'm going to play second row with Bren later on. Is Bren playing Overwatch right now? Is he streaming?
So when we look at that recontest there for RunAway, they're in firm control, but Free decides to solo grab Hisu, and Hisu goes down early.
Cool.
And then Mag tries to drop the shadow.
We'll go fuck him up in a bit.
From that, and from Hisu being down, GC Busan Wave are guaranteed.
Bren Overwatch, the absolute papega. Yeah.
GC Busan Wave, I mean, they're well stacked to continue delaying here. I mean, I'm not going to count RunAway out of any fight in particular, but you take a look at this. This should be a good situation for an EMP, especially given that the terrain isn't super great for the offense in this situation. But they're going to immediately go in. They turn the corner to the right. They're looking for their...
So they've...
Don't quite get it. They do drop the grab, though.
Okay, what a weird fight. All right. So they jump over the top, and they're trying to see if they can focus down Ion or force out some ults or something. Ion tries to throw out the shatter, but gets bashed. Ion gets whip shot out, and they grab. They grab Free and use the bomb. Ion then comes into the bomb, but because they miss the pin, because it goes on Free instead of on Ion, they block the bomb.
I think they would have been happier if they got the EMP, but they still got a lot.
So
this is a much better fight.
They kind of whiffed that.
This is still a pretty good fight, I should say, for GC Busan because they committed grab and bomb.
Yeah, I mean that was just a straight. Oh wait a second, did they use trance as well? Did they overlap support ults? Yeah, I think they did, right? So they use barrier. Why does Fielder use trance?
Don't quite get it. They do drop the grab though.
Oh, to save Free. Okay, so Fielder kind of panics a bit because Free's dropped really weak. Free wouldn't have died, I think, but all right.
This is a much better fight.
So RunAway use Grav Bomb and Rally, but they force out both support ults from GC Busan.
They committed both those ults, and they committed.
But the thing is, RunAway, because they're using the Ana, don't really have a defensive support ult of their own to be able to push with, because anytime Lee Jae-gon uses his sound barrier, they can use the EMP.
use
So,
rally. They get nothing from either. Edison
I think that's better from GC Busan Wave, really. And RunAway kind of... They went for the grab bomb combo in a weird place where you can't really follow up on it very reliably. Bren is terrible at every game he's ever played.
Why Gangnam Jin is just so far back right now. It is why he get hit with the MP. They're expecting Edison to use it here at any moment.
As you see, Edison's just sitting on this high ground, just, I mean, poking right now. There's no reason for him to look for the EMP because you see RunAway are playing split. Gangnam Jin is playing so far back. There's the Nano out.
Early shatter from Mag, not going to hit anyone. Graviton in from free, not going to be eaten this time. Nano boost.
So that's a great use of ults from GC Busan Wave. Alright, so what happened there was they play passive because they're waiting to see what RunAway are going to do. They don't have to use any ults to play aggressive. They're on defense. They're trying to take time off the clock. They're just going to play slow. So GC Busan play slow. They wait. The Nano comes out. The Nano comes out and they shatter. And Mag shatters instantly. He doesn't manage to find anything with the shatter. And then just decides to go aggressive with the Nano. Instead of using EMP, which really wouldn't do anything to Mag. I mean, what the fuck is that going to do? An EMP wouldn't stop him at all. They use the Grav to lock him in place. Ion nearly dies, which is nearly bot play by Ion because he stayed too close to the Grav. But alright, the Grav gets used and they throw out their sound barrier. And then it's just replied instantly by the EMP, rips sound barrier off everybody, and they get the kills super easily. And, crucially, because it was slow enough, it's built up time for Fielder to get his trance back. So in this fight, RunAway used Earth Shatter, well, Nano Boost into Earth Shatter, and then the sound barrier. And GC Busan Wave have managed to now gain time to start to get their support ultimates back. They just had to use Grav and thingy. So RunAway's win condition when they're running this Ana is the Grav Bomb. And if they fuck up the Grav Bomb, they're going to fuck this fight up 9 times out of 10. Unless GC Busan Wave make bigger mistakes. Because they have 3 huge ultimates. They have the EMP, and then they have both double support ults. RunAway really don't have any support ults because the sound barrier is just going to get countered by the EMP every single time, or almost every single time. You might be able to engineer a situation where Edison has to use the EMP and Lee Jae-gon can hold on to it, but most of the time Edison is just going to wait for Lee Jae-gon to use his sound barrier, and then he's going to pop it. So you've got 3 huge ultimates here for GC Busan, and RunAway have 1 combo. And in terms of defensive, they've got the Nano if Mag gets in trouble, but it's not going to help the whole team. And the sound barrier is just going to get ripped off them. So this is this direct head-to-head matchup is hard unless you can win the neutral and take advantage of the fact that they don't have a diva by just fucking their Rhine up top here, which is what they keep trying to do, or making this work. But once ults get online, it becomes much more difficult for RunAway to win.
Get knocked off pretty early here, RunAway.
Nice whip shot.
High ground before heading to the low. Using rally, GC Busan trying to bring the fight the other way.
So a lot of pressure there on Mag. But they've backed off. They've hacked QOQ. Did actually demech him. I thought it was pretty close there. Nice play by Delight. So now the EMP comes through. I don't agree with this. I don't like this EMP because they were winning the engagement anyway. Huh. Fielder was actually asleep. Fielder got hit by a sleep dart. Anima, thank you for the Twitch Prime for 2 months in a row. Thanks, Sajo. I had a shit day and your stream really cheered me up. I'm sorry you had a shit day, Anima. We all have them. I had a fucking terrible day sometime this week. I had a weird series of dreams where I don't know why. I'm normally a fairly positive person. I don't take too many other people's thoughts into account. I have a fairly high sense of self-esteem. And I had a series of dreams that was me having conversations with the people that I respect the most in life and them just shit-talking me for the whole night. I just had dreams of them telling me what a terrible person I was. And I woke up and I was like, well, fuck me, that was heavy. I was in a bad mood for like the whole of the first half of the day. From me dreaming that other people had said stuff to me. But it's all like internalized stuff, you know? So nobody can quite be as mean to you as you could be to yourself, which is why it still carried weight. Was like they were actually saying some really fucking mean, deep shit, which they wouldn't even fucking know. They wouldn't know, but it's like your fears getting played back to you in dreams. Wild. And also, I sometimes struggle to separate dreams from reality. Like I'll very often I'll have conversations in my dreams and I'll think that they actually happened, and I'll talk to people and think that they said that. So it was quite a realistic dream as well. It was weird. It was weird. But like I said, it only lasted for half a day. So that was the shittest day that I've had recently, Anima. I'm sure you had something that was much more real than mine. But I'm here for you. I'll attempt to entertain you in the meantime. But what was I saying? What was I going to say? I was going to say that I disagree with this EMP. Now, when was EMP used? Here it is. Here it is. So GC Busan Wave are winning this engagement anyway. The rallies come in, so that they know that RunAway is going to try and engage, and the rally advantage is it's pretty big. But Field is going to wake up at some point. They can kite the rally pretty well. So this 5-man EMP, they don't really have a target to go onto. They managed to kill Liege Gone, but they should be waiting. That's my issue. Is the EMP should be used reactively to something bigger than just a rally. Oh, what a Bionade as well. So that Grav forced out Trance and Sound Barrier because the Bionade was hit in the middle of it. So like, the Shatter comes out, leads into a Grav, and then Fielder uses his Transcendence to keep everybody alive. But because 3 players get hit by a Bionade, Daydream feels like he needs to pop his ult as well. Now, actually, Free just uses bubbles to cleanse him and Ion of the Biotic Nade, and Delight's dead anyway. So this Sound Barrier doesn't really do that much. And they've put a Nano on Mag to soak up a lot of that. But even if RunAway lose this fight, which they should, they've forced out so many ults that they have an opportunity.
I'm surprised they commit to that fight. Sure, they were able to get the grab and set up the ante, but they should have known that Daydream still had to beat. They should have known that while this fight's going on, Edison still has. He loses the 1v1 to Liege Gong, actually, but it looks like he'll get out. It doesn't really matter because they still have to get QOQ back anyway.
But the problem is they're now just building up to other ults.
Down players and they decide to commit all that.
Because they stayed in the fight for so long, the last thing that happened really was the Grav. And yet Field is back to 65% and Edison's back to 77%. And Free's got another ult. So RunAway not playing this very clean. For sure. Attempting to set up advantageous situations for themselves with ults, but not particularly. RunAway shouldn't be able to win this because of the spawners. Oh, wow. Oh, can they actually do it before they get spawners there? Maybe.
This stall from Edison is so good because the bubbles now able to come out onto Ion. He's on point. They're bashing Hisu. The beat is out.
It's okay. Let's set this up though. Let's actually discuss it rather than just watching it and being like, "Oh, is this gonna happen?" This is the problem. I didn't watch this game live 5 days ago, so I'm watching it all for the first time. Okay, so RunAway come into this fight, and they don't really have any ults, and they're gonna get grabbed. So they get grabbed, but they do enough damage to these players that they, they Bionade them and then they do a lot of damage to them. And that means that they can't really follow up on the grab itself that well. But they do manage to get the kills. The defensive self-destruct from QOQ doesn't really find that much. Oh, it does actually find 3. So they've traded. The EMP also comes out, and they're able to find another kill off that, I think. Yeah, Mag. But there's still Grav, Barrier, and a nano-boosted Zarya here. So they could easily win this 3v3. The question is just whether they can overwhelm the spawners. My initial impression was that they couldn't overwhelm the spawners because they'd be able to delay for too long. But the stall from Edison was good. and then Free and Ion are able to come back onto the point. They use the beat onto 4 players, but they've got Rally. Both teams do. Ooh, the Shatter catches 3? How did the Shatter catch 3? Oh no, it doesn't catch 3 if it catches 2. But even so, how does it get the Moira and the Zarya? Oh, the Zarya wasn't quite behind the shield. Oh, he just turned his shield. Ion had just turned his shield. But even so, this is still not guaranteed. They can delay for a long time here. Sound barrier into Grav. They should be able to isolate somebody with it. Yeah, they managed to kill Daydream. Yeah, okay, they've managed to do it. Under a minute's a big deal, though.
This is definitely going to be RunAway's cap. But
Okay.
Busan's stagger there was really good. GC Busan as they move out.
Hey, swimmer.
Really
How you doing?
back to the stagger working out.
Hello, Sideshow_OW. And my name is not Sideshow_OW. It's Sideshow Overwatch to you, swimmer. How you doing, man? 55 Marshmallows is gifted a tier 1 sub to Spence_OW. Thank you, 55 Marshmallows. I appreciate it. Piss off, chat.
Hack comes down to Lee Gong and they're able to catch him. He was looking close for boops.
It's a super early advantage. GC Busan wave though, they're gonna lose Ion, but
Okay, let's go back to this.
to find the one condition where you could stay.
Alright, let's have a look. This is a weird game because GC Busan Wave are forcing Sombra so much. I was kind of hoping that we'd get a direct Goats v Goats match. But I suppose we got that with Gen G, and Gen G were just horrible. And RunAway made a bunch of errors, but RunAway seem fairly capable of playing this style. Alright, wait, what the fuck is going on here?
Mag gonna be on Winston here to contest these early chokes.
So they're playing Winston Ana. So they just try and rush through, and they kill Lee Jae-gon. And now they're trying to peel for Ion. They get the hack onto QOQ. That was a weird one. How does Lee Jae-gon get caught out here? Oh, he just drops on them. Oh, he got hacked. Oh shit, how does Edison get a hack on him? Wasn't he hiding above the choke? Edison runs through, and then he's like, oh look. A Lucio. And hacks him. And so they just run him down. That's pretty crazy. It's potentially an overextend as well. Ion does get punished for it. But they get another hack onto QOQ. Honestly, Edison is so good.
It should be an unavoidable death spiral here for RunAway. They get QOQ out of Mac. Now they can turn their attention to Mag, who's nowhere close to Primal Rage. RunAway is in a very tough spot right now.
Armor pack, nicely used onto Daydream, keeps him alive.
Now, GC Busan gonna get some serious progress here in the point.
Can they do anything about Mag?
But Shui down. The trade-outs here still good for the offense.
Yeah, the trades are still good for the offense. Oh. As we said, Alicia also.
Wait, what the fuck happens here? So they lost Ion in the fight, so he's coming back. But how do they lose? How do they lose these players? Why are they even still committing? Why aren't they just playing slow? Okay, this is big dumb. Big dumb, big dumb. Instead of staying back here, playing slow, waiting for Ion to come back, regrouping, utilizing the EMP, easily winning this fight. Easily winning this fight. Instead of doing that, they mega feed. They push aggressive onto, who is it, Shui? I think it must be Shui that they had in here. Whereas Gangnam Jin's got a good opportunity to land Bionades and maybe even some damage on them. They haven't displaced the Zarya from the high ground, so he's doing crazy damage. And because they've pushed so far forwards in like this kind of position, Mag is going to get good dives on them as well. So this is silly from Busan Wave. They've got too happy about killing Lee Jae-gon and QOQ, but they're down their main tank and they don't have a diva to help themselves anyway. They've got no shielding. They're out in the open. They've got no positioning.
progress here in the point.
So the Zen comes forward, dies.
Down. The trade-outs here
The
still
Zarya
good for the
gets
offense.
And the
jumped
trades are
on,
so good for the
dies.
As we said, Lee Jae-gong also able to catch out free there. They're chasing down Delight. Lee Jae-gong being a madman.
Now that.
Getting Daydream too. Lee Jae-gong.
Well, Lee Jae-gong just fucking pounded, didn't he? Let's see if we can track him in this fight. Lee Jae-gong is probably the best player on this team.
In a very tough spot right now. They lose QOQ.
So Lee Jae-gong's around here. Drops down on the Zen. Kills the Zen. Then where is he? Oh, then harasses the Zarya.
Trades are still good for
Kills the
As we
Zarya.
said, Lee Jae-gong also able to catch out
Comes in on
free
these
there.
guys.
They're chasing
Kills
down Delight.
the
Lee Jae-gong
brig.
being a madman.
And then boops off the enemy
Getting
Lucio.
Daydream too. Lee Jae-gong.
Pretty fucking sick, honestly. This guy's mechanics seem fantastic. But at the end of the day, what they've done is just set themselves up to win the next fight with the EMP. It's still going to be hard for RunAway to win this next fight with the EMP up. But Busan Wave should have won that fight if they hadn't gone so far forwards and given up the positional.
The real question is the EP able to get any value?
Okay. Good spam. Takes Edison out of stealth. They know where he is.
Soon to happen. But also on this, Mag getting super
They want to
low
play
as
the
the
point
time
and
called
EMP
out.
people when they
Agri
come
being
onto
a
them.
little bit, but no, gonna primal.
They bash.
If you're Edison, I don't think you want to EMP until the primal's
They
over.
bash, Discord, kill
Mag
Mag.
is down.
Bags down.
Grav gets
Grab is
used.
out, though, for RunAway.
Trance is out.
Haven't got anything on your
EMP might not even need to be
Still
used
holding
here.
on to EMPs, decides
I'd
that
be saving this.
for this fight. Shui's gonna fall. And the
Okay.
patience medicine could very well pay off.
I mean, Ion dropping the solo shadow there onto Shui, who is
The teams in general
to
in
deny the
Contender's
jump.
career
And
have, I think, been pretty
Busan,
bad
they
at
actually are in a great position.
bash
They have Grav, they have
bashing
They still have
Winstons
beat. There's
and like
no
punishing Mag when he
really
goes onto
nothing
Winston.
RunAway besides, you know, the counter beat.
But we haven't seen too
and
much of it in
bomb.
this VOD review.
So if I'm
We've only
RunAway
seen
in
a
this
couple of
scenario,
occasions, and he did actually get
Lee
punished
Jae-gong
there.
is going to be hiding, and QOQ is probably looking for a defensive bomb. I doubt they engage first.
RunAway under all sorts of pressure here. Highly aggressive charge happening. Mag out of the fight.
Bomb in the air. Presumably Mag got hacked. I
doubt
didn't
they
actually
engage
see.
first.
So the EMP comes out.
Under all sorts of pressure here.
Well, I don't even know. Mag just got bashed. Mag got bashed and killed, so I don't think he even needed to be EMP'd.
Of course, still doing its work. DC Busan Wave up 2, make it 3.
Grav is
RunAway
nice, pretty decisive.
feeling the pressure right now. This is gonna be a much quicker time for GC Busan Wave.
Their controlling point right here, Fielder is on the Zen, so it allows
QOQ's
the fire to
in.
be so good with the Discord. You see
But they
RunAway's
don't get
coming
on the
they
point
can't
in
touch,
time.
And this is a much
Mag
faster
holds
time.
up his shield there.
GC Busan Wave.
Their controlling point right here, Fielder is on the Zen, so it allows the focus fire to be so
Here,
good with the Discord.
Mag thinks he'll get on the
You see
point in
RunAway's
time,
coming
so he
they
holds up
can't
his
touch,
shield,
and
slows
this is
down
a
slightly.
much
That's
faster
actually
time.
just the difference between him getting on the point or not.
There's probably that
But
Discorded and
yeah,
charged,
they
you keep them alive, you get discorded, but there's no Discord.
RunAway.
They know Lee Jae-gong has beat, so if they go for that aggressive pin play,
RunAway weren't really able to set up a play where they could beat the EMP, and then because they tried to go aggressive, they fucked up their
here on Volskaya.
ults
You have to think for them, they'd be incredibly
and just got
frustrated
snowballed on
when it
point B.
comes to
But
wayside.
that shit happens.
All they have to do now, just
Hydrate?
hold RunAway back
Yeah, I
on
should
point
hydrate.
A. The worst that they could do, well, do here be a draw. Of course, that'd still be the series over. But to think that they can hold them off here,
Bash onto Edison.
not get 33% 5 minutes, unlikely.
And something to note is that RunAway have put Gundam Jin back onto the Zenyatta for this push because there is a minute. Rather than play the Ana,
That was
you know,
really
to say
nice.
that-
Unlikely.
And something to note is that RunAway have
Do here be a draw. Of course, that'd still be the series over. But to think that they can hold them off here,
So he gets bashed.
not get
He's confident in his team giving him resources there. He doesn't think like he's gonna die. But this
something to
time,
note
when he
is
goes
that
in,
RunAway have put Gundam Jin back
they're
onto the Zenyatta
spamming him.
push because there is
He
a
takes a
minute.
little bit of damage, sees this, but
hold them off
wait
here,
a second.
not get 33% 5 minutes.
Did he use his
unlikely.
translocator again?
And something to note is that RunAway have put Gundam Jin back onto the Zenyatta for this push because there is a minute.
Oh, they killed his translocator. I can't read Korean, so I didn't even know what that meant. But yeah, they killed his translocator and they destroyed him.
Rather than
That's
play
fucking
the
awesome.
Ana to try, well, you know, as I say that, they're actually able to isolate Edison. I don't know if that's more of the sin or just, you know, everyone is. They're not going to fight this. They're not going to fight this, which is because they know if they fight this, they lose and they feed ult to RunAway.
That's so smart to decisively just jump off the ledge there. so many times you see teams try and fight it and get staggered and then have.
Yeah, that is cool.
They fight this. You know, to say that they're actually able to isolate.
Actually, just lemming straight off.
More of the sin, or just everyone. They're not going to fight this. There's literally not going to fight this, which is because
I do think that's the smart play for them all just to jump off.
That's so smart to decisively just jump off the ledge there.
Yeah, I am planning to do a video on 222 lock at some point, but I've not found the time to be able to write out my thoughts to be able to structure them for the video yet. I will do though at some point.
They've also swapped Edison onto the Diva here. They don't want to, put Free and Edison. They don't want to swap them because I mean the ult charge, I guess, even though it's very minuscule, is enough.
That is weird. That is very strange that they don't want to swap roles when they had such little ult. Unless they feel confident that both of those players are able to play at that kind of level, like on opposite roles. The advantage you gain from 10% ult charge is not more than you would gain usually from having people on their correct roles.
Edison onto the Diva here. They don't want to, put Free and Edison. They don't want to swap them because I mean.
Bren jumped off the map with Batiste. What a genius! What a bona fide genius.
3v3 mirror in the neutral.
Meanwhile, RunAway, they're saying, 3-3 versus 3-3. This is the type of game we like to play. They're gonna take it straight in. They get Ion, but it comes at a cost. Hisu is down 5 on 5. RunAway down to their final 15.
A lot of pressure on Mag here.
Mag getting awfully low, but he is
QQ getting demagged as well. Should really just be a straight fight win for GC Busan Wave. Both teams have trans, but Busan Wave are way further ahead in terms of the damage that they can apply and also the grav that they've got available. This should just be a win. Okay.
All means Mag's back defense
would be pretty momentous, but GC Busan Wave has been.
So if they fail to win this, I mean that's a tragedy.
I would fully expect GC Busan Wave to take this map, make it 2-1, and in the map 4.
He boinked his smooth brain off the ceiling coming out of spawn and instantly lost A for his team. What a moron.
Still going to be looking here, and really they don't want Lee Shae-Khan to go down first. That's their goal. You never want your Lucio be the one that gets caught, attacked, and isolated. As Gunamjin, he's hiding. Are they trying to bait? Okay, I think they were contesting the left side to maybe force GC Busan Wave to go right, so they could look for the
RunAway need to win this first fight and need to start building ultimates up before Edison gets his, otherwise they're not going to be able to hold this for long enough.
Mag's only 30% of the primal. He is getting some more now.
Meanwhile, you take a look at Gunamjin, only at 30%. I mean, this
Edison is building very, very quickly.
EMP, if Edison can continue this pace, it's breakneck speed.
But you see how split RunAway are playing, where they're trying to control the high ground. Mag still trying to build that primal. The sleep out on the free. Nothing's really going to come. It's just going to take some time. And Edison's at 85%.
Yeah, the sleep doesn't really matter. They're all just waiting for the EMP. But they know that they've got the EMP. So at this point here, you want to be playing the point, drag them towards the point, then EMP the people that are contesting. So you could EMP. Well, no, you should have EMP'd 3 seconds earlier. Don't know whether it'll make any difference, but it should have really tried to EMP Mag.
This is a dangerous position.
And I think it was Shui that had gone aggressive as well. Okay, pretty difficult.
They're not going to commit.
For RunAway there, they have to make a play. They can't just wait for the... Like in these kind of situations, they can't just sit there and wait for Edison to build up 100% ult. They have to go aggro at some point. They have to apply pressure. They have to try and build up Mag's ult. They have to do something. You can't just wait for the enemy to get EMP.
EMP comes out, EMP is out, so is the Nano. Nano onto Mag. Mag moving forward, trying to disrupt. QQ's already given up the Mag.
This is a dangerous position.
Primal's up for Mag right now. Even as RunAway has lost 2.
He won't commit.
I don't think they can fight it back.
They won't commit.
Yep.
They're not going to commit, but the Prime... he wants to swap? Yeah, he'll be swapping off Ryan.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to stay on Winston.
Have 4-man anti, but it doesn't matter. And everyone for RunAway will be
no, I don't do power rankings really at the moment. I haven't had time. I probably should still do them at the end of every week and predictions, but I haven't been streaming recently, so I haven't had a medium with which to do them.
Because Lee Jae-Young doesn't even have beat yet.
Did popping the primal feed Edison's ult?
Oh, wait, he wants to swap? Yeah, he'll shit.
Primal's up for Mag right now. Even as RunAway has lost 2,
He won't commit.
I don't think they can fight it back.
They won't commit.
Yep.
They're not going to commit, but the
No,
primal.
he is gonna commit 'cause
Oh,
he wants
wait,
to
he wants to swap? Yeah, he'll be swapping off Ryan.
Probably should have just inted. Probably should have just actually fed straight into the water.
And everyone for RunAway will be up in time to stop the snowball.
Send him back to Visa Hell so he can regain his fire.
To another one already. And
Fuck
really,
me.
when we look at this next fight,
I'm not unmotivated. My motivation's just in a different place. Like, we're trying to improve the half times and stuff at the moment.
They can actually just
You only got enough bandwidth and brain power for one project at a time.
They should know that too. They should know
They
that.
should just go straight to point
Okay.
right now, and I think that's exactly what they're gonna do.
So
Edison
Rally gets
already
used
building EMP super
to get a hack
quick.
onto
Still in trouble.
QOQ.
The beat! Just
Use
in
the
nick of time.
beat.
Daydream saving the team there. They're gonna drop the grab.
Grav gets used. They do a lot of damage. EMP as well. This is just an easy win. Easy
And
win.
RunAway.
That's it.
They
Easy win.
will see
Easy
it's
win.
more than for a mere drop of blood as GC Busan Wave makes a series into
Sorry that I had a bad day. I only had half a bad day once in the last couple of months, so don't worry about it, son. Don't worry about it. I'm happier than almost everybody in the world.
Usually, of course, they're the team that's winning. You take a look at this defense here. It is a little bit interesting. RunAway, who usually decide that the verticality here in Gibraltar is enough to
All right.
Isu onto the Widow.
So 2-1 the score to RunAway. They really struggled in that previous one. About playing aggressive into the Sombra, actually.
The 3-3. They're putting Edison back on Zarya.
I think
On Volskaya. I think they should have been playing Zen more as well instead of the Ana. For the ults.
Focus more on the payload here and limit the amount of opportunities that Isu's going to have.
It could be a double. It could be not only.
So they're playing this
they will
Widowmaker
be getting value out of Sombra for
Goats
the first
again.
2 points, but they might also know scouted RunAway and
Widow
know
Brig
what
kind of
Isu
thing.
Widow.
So, but that said, even with that, very nice bio nade. Playing GC Busan Wave in a bit of a bind there.
I don't think this is a good composition, but I think this would be the best place to play it if you wanted to play it.
Shots to the body at a minimum.
You see GC Busan,
But you can pressure Hisu out and then try and fuck Mag up.
and just put themselves in a better position here to fight the cart.
Why is no one bashing Mag? Why are they trying to kill the Brig? Why don't they bash Mag?
RunAway, Hisu is far back. He got kind of zoned out of the fight early, so it makes the rest of the fight rough for them. Even as both Brigidas get traded out, Ion's
But yeah,
an advantage here.
I mean,
Hisu's gonna fall.
I don't think this composition is particularly good. Are they going to try and clutch it with the Primal? Oh my god, he's going to try and clutch with the Primal. They did kill the Zarya.
He's coming back, he's popping the Emperor Sight, and Mag forces Fielder to the trance extremely early. Gunamjin will be back in this fight. There'll be a recontest available for RunAway with the Nano.
Mag got away. Hisu's gonna be
Okay.
Sombra now, so there's a swap, and talk about a paradigm shift.
I think Mag is getting away with fucking murder on Winston. The Brigs that he's playing against aren't confident enough to go for those kind of plays, where they just run at you, bash you, and discord you and kill you. Winston's should have to play much more scared than this, but Mag is just wandering around like he doesn't fucking care about shit.
Well, he can't.
I don't think it would have been a good idea here anyways.
They do clean up this fight in the end, and they haven't had to use either of their support ultimates, so RunAway just ended up burning time off the clock at the end of the day, but it should have been probably cleaner from Busan Wave.
On the Sombra, gonna fall here, gets caught by the stagger, which is interesting. Sombra gets caught by it, but yeah, it
Sometimes you can't get out, especially if you feel translocate.
Smash or pass on a Vast. Not what the fuck are you guys talking about?
So this next fight, I mean,
I can't really talk about what the plans are for next year,
they've swapped their styles.
or
He's
anything
now
about
Sombra,
like
there's no
people
Edison
getting offers
Sombra,
from Owl or any of that shit.
and they're going to look to get value out of their EMP here on second, while Fielder and Daedra both.
Away on top, Isu still hanging on to the EMP. Primal Rage came up pretty early for Mag here in the fight, long before an EMP was used, and you know what they might have used? Edison's Crab is eating.
I need to get some. I need to get some thingy majiggy, some water. We need to hydrate. Remember to hydrate. Everyone go and get water right now. Do I have plans for Avast? Well, I can't do a podcast with Avast in person because he doesn't live in LA. But if he's ever in LA, then yeah, definitely I'd like to make content with him. Yeah, my room now is so much bigger than my room in LA. I don't even have a bed in this room. My bed is in a separate room. This is my second room. So yeah, it's crazy different to in the UK. All right.
Space. QQ suddenly showing up here for RunAway, as RunAway should be able to stabilize on point B, and that's
So
really
RunAway have decided to run the Sombra Goats themselves, which I think is a bit of a weird choice, but okay.
Eating the grab. So now this is where
I think this version of the Sombra Goats, where you play with a Winston, is a lot better in the new patch, but it's not that much better in this patch.
Is this going to be a 6-man EMP?
Because you give up the Ryan Zarya, but you add the diving potential of being able to sync up with your Winston and your Sombra. So they have quite nice synergy on being able to isolate targets if you want to go for them. And also Winston is just more powerful on the new patch because you do so much added damage and ult generation to armor. So many ults being thrown in here. Very messy. They eat the grav and decide to play aggressive with the sound barrier. So I don't know why they popped sound barrier, but they've managed to find value out of it. But it's super scrappy from both teams. RunAway had their trance forced out of them, and then they got grabbed, and then they just decided to randomly throw their sound barrier in because they could. So Lee Jae-gon was holding his sound barrier for the grav, but then once the grav got eaten, instead of biding their time and just playing the clock and playing slow like they should on defense, they decided to go aggro when they weren't really in position to go aggro, and they were still scattered. And so GC Busan Wave just punished them for it. So this, when things get chaotic, RunAway get worse.
He's simply able to do more for his team than the Sombra can right now for the first or second.
Especially with their support ult play. When they play Zen Lucio, it seems like Gangnam Jin throws his trances around pretty willy-nilly. Lee Jae-gon does as well. Okay, I mean, what the fuck happens here? How do they end up in a fight around there? So RunAway are now running Ryan Goats. So they go for a fight on the cart. They see this aggressive positioning from the Zarya, and they try and take a fight on the cart just to delay. Then they back into the room, but there's a bomb in the room. He trances to save Shui, or just so that they can get out of the room, but they're just going to get grabbed now. Well, they might not even need to use it. Yeah, that was bad from RunAway. That was bad. They managed to block the car and take some time off the clock, but they've given this whole corner and all of the positional advantage to GC Busan Wave. And they used their trance in the middle of that fight as well. So now GC Busan Wave can play aggressive with their grav. And they should be going aggro now. GC Busan Wave should be going aggro, knowing that they have an opportunity to win a fight just with a grav. Ah, but they're playing passive and Gangnam Jin's going to get his ult back up. Okay, this is bad. They know that they use trance. There was a huge window there, though.
Still spamming mag, blocking the damage, just making sure that it's not going to happen anytime soon. Finally, Free will be back in mech.
Oh, what is my title? Is my title that I've had a bad day? I've been baited. I wondered why people were coming in here saying, I'm sorry you had a bad day. I've had a perfectly fine day. My mods are trolling me.
Yeah, Mac definitely.
I said now they're going aggressive. Push forward with the rally, but ults are generated for both sides now. Shatter comes out, doesn't catch anybody. Grav gets used. What was it, a Grav on? Edison and Free or something? But they use Grab Bomb combo themselves. Gangnam Jin had already... I mean, what's the support ult usage here again? So the... So why do they use Trance here? So let's... Watch RunAway, watch RunAway. So they're under a bit of pressure, but they've got basically full ults across the board. GC Busan Wave have rallied into them, so they've had to back up to soak up some of that pressure. Bubbles have been used. Mag's shield was either incredibly weak or just broke, and he throws out the Shatter. Because Mag is then weak and Bubble has been used, they pop the Trance to save Mag. Mag charges in, but they obviously then are just going to get grabbed afterwards. So again, the support ult usage not great from RunAway. What should they have done instead? On this rally approach, they probably should have backed up further. Mag's holding his shield a lot, so it ends up taking a ton of pressure instead of people backing off around a corner to try and deny line of sight and not take as much damage. So Mag tanks it all on his shield, tries to swing a little bit with the bubble up to stay healthy. Shatters and then walks this way. If he goes back and they rotate aggression between these two, they're not going to need to use this Trance. This is the same stuff that I was talking about earlier, where like if you watch the Valiant or something, one of the biggest reasons that they lose a shit ton of their games is that their Lucio play is, or not just their Lucio, I don't want to call somebody out specifically like that, but their peeling in general for Fate is pretty poor. Like agilities and whoever the Lucio is don't peel for Fate very often. So instead they have to pop trances to be able to save their main tank, which just fucks your ult economy completely. If you ever have to trance to save your main tank, you are pretty much screwed. And this is the third time over this match and the last match that Gangnam Jin's had trances where he felt like he had to use them to save Mag because the rest of his team isn't peeling properly. And he's played majority Ana. So there haven't even really been that many occasions for him to have good trances. Seems like Gangnam Jin's Transcendence usage is pretty poor, but I think some of the time he's kind of forced to use it because they aren't supporting Mag as well as they could. So he's worried that Mag's gonna die. Mr. Clever TV, thank you so much for the 500 bits, but I'm afraid you've been horribly baited, and I need to change my title because I haven't had a bad day today, and I really appreciate the support, but I'm just I'm perfectly fine. This is my neutral. This is my neutral. I'm even right now. I've not had a good day, I've not had a bad day. I've just had an enjoyable day streaming. So I need to change this fucking title because my stream mods have they keep debating everybody. Good day, come say hello. There we go. The stream title has been changed. I'm deeply sad inside. I'm just very good at hiding it. No, I'm not. I'm very content. Very content. Right, where were we? Oh yeah, RunAway collapsed. So that's
I think with over a minute left.
That's a long time on the. That's a large amount of time on the clock. RunAway played that map pretty poorly. Played that defense pretty poorly. Not just the not just the ult usage towards the end, but the scrappy engagement on point C that was really bad and also had another bad transcendence in it. The messy play on point B as well, which also had another bad transcendence and a bad sound barrier in it. And they didn't play point A too badly. They tried to clutch, but it was a clutchable situation, so I don't really blame them for anything on point A. But their point B and point C were pretty bad, honestly.
The issue is where are you able to get your good grab?
Good day, 1 a.m. for me, by the way. Well, 1 hour of goodness, Macklemore. Mahecklemore. Okay. Title, Stepford Smiler says salutations to streamer. I'm worried. What is a Stepford Smiler? What is that? What is that?
The dynamic of the map is not the same.
Yeah, it's probably something sexual or... A Stepford Smiler sounds like either something sexual or a serial killer.
Part about that is that if we were to just swap all the players what they're playing on, like
Denoting someone who is regarded as robotically conformist or obedient. So I'm an obedient smiler. Oh, I see. Fantastic. It's very wholesome. Please Google it. I have never heard of the Stepford Wives. No. No. What are the Stepford Wives?
Sombra on defense. Now, I mean, it looks.
Can anyone give me a synopsis?
Probably a little bit more comfortable on the Sombra than Hisu, since RunAway haven't played too much of it, so that can definitely play a factor. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar dynamic take place.
The definition of the uncanny valley. Is it, well... Oh, your mum. Okay. I don't think my mum is a Stepford Smiler. Alright, anyway.
We'll see how long Hisu decides to stand Widow. I mean, Widow has always been pretty decent on Gibraltar. I don't think it really worked out too well for Hisu last time, but it was also a really nice rotation from GC Busan Wave to deny it.
So RunAway on offense are again running this Widowmaker triple support thing.
The opportunity gets it. Fielder out.
Finds Fielder on the rotation back.
Big opportunity for RunAway.
And that's a pick.
Not a clean disengage from GC Busan Wave when you know you're playing against a Widow. You don't really want to give opportunities like that.
So now GC Busan.
But Hisu does well to take advantage of basically the one opportunity that he had.
I mean, why play Sombra into the Widow that controls you? You want to have that tank, you want to have that damage directly to fight the point.
So they're playing Winston Goats. They're going to use their Winston to play aggressive into the backline. Oh my god, what the fuck was that?
You want to have that damage directly to fight the point and not have to worry quite as much about Hisu's headshots.
Hisu's still in a good spot. Oh, nice ball.
That's a shot and a half.
Doesn't matter. Still finds Daydream. Hisu, enough line of sight to be dangerous here. Looking for the Zen and almost gets it as well.
Hisu's just putting on a clinic right now from the server room. Getting that early pick. Just keeping them pinned down.
Certainly works well there if you decide to jump the Widow. And everyone from RunAway just collapses on top of you. Which is what happened there. And also he got thingied. Read the text? Okay. Read the text. Oh my goodness, it's so long though. It's so long. Stepford Wives is a 1972 satirical thriller novel by Ira Levin. Whatever. The story concerns Joanna Eberhardt, a photographer and young mother who begins to suspect that the frighteningly submissive housewives in her new idyllic Connecticut neighborhood may be robots created by their husbands. The book has had 2 feature film adaptations, both using the same title as the novel, the 1975 version and the 2004 remake. Edgar J. Sherrick produced the 1975 version. Well, I'm glad I know that. Glad I know that.
Pretty fast, the way of RunAway.
You know, he didn't really have to grapple over to do that. His team
If you're playing against a Widow like this,
I
think the idea is just to crush the front line with your additional damage.
And now Hisu, I mean, really, it's still, you know, you're playing the tank, the 3-3 into Widow. So it's tougher to get all those immediate picks, but it's still a very dangerous position to be in to have to re-enter this point.
If they just keep jumping Hisu and getting farmed by RunAway, that's going to be very disappointing.
Zenyatta or Lucio, it's just you get really you know, 2 or 3 shots at most, and that's it. And you have to connect on it.
So GC Busan Wave are taking space well. RunAway are just waiting to see if they can dive on the people that go aggressive. Decent damage, nice isolation. I think they managed to isolate Edison there. No, didn't quite. They actually got Mag. Not Mag, Ion. Primal into the back as well, forces out the Transcendence. Trans to reply from RunAway.
And he gets one, delayed out of the fight.
With the light out of the fight.
Yeah, that's a reasonable Transcendence.
Edison has Grav.
Able to win that fight. Just using Hisu as bait.
I mean, the tank ults will be available for GC Busan.
Hisu is just bait at that point.
Do they have time to weaken this? And I think they do.
Whoa! Red Clone 978 gifted a tier 1 sub to Axman_OW. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, the Grav should just be a fight winner. Oh my god, so much pressure on Edison. Really nice pressure on Edison. But the bomb somehow manages to find all of these people. Oh, they're trying to hide. Mag died while he was over there. I don't know where Lee Jae-gon was, but
that is an incredibly
he thought he could survive.
I don't even think that I guess when I say incredibly good, it's incredibly fortunate. I don't think the bomb itself was perfect. I think rather because of the situation, RunAway was hoping to pressure Edison to use the Grav. They knew Edison was low. So
yeah, they put a lot of pressure on Edison, hoping to eat the Grav.
To stop both of those, and also catches RunAway while they're in that chase.
But yeah, Free just kind of dumped his Grav on a high ground and dumped his bomb on a high ground. And there you go. Well, now they have the Grav again. They should try and win this fight with the Grav and use it to charge up their other ults. Yeet. Why isn't he going? Why is he not going aggressive though? This is what I don't quite get. Is like when the Grav comes in like this, why is everyone not really trying to commit to getting the kills in this? It's hard enough when you're the Winston team against the Ryan team to get kills from the Grav. You, as the Zarya here, you need to go forwards and start dumping right clicks behind the shield. I don't think you can just sit on the high ground and spam his shield. Like, imagine if the shield was this way the whole time, and they didn't turn around to block damage from these two. Which, I mean, I don't even know why they really do that, but you need to drop down to the low ground to fight the after fight anyway, so you might as well be with the rest of your team inside the Grav, ensuring that you get those picks. I just think a lot of these Zaryas play too passive.
And Ion very low, having to grab the pack. The pressure here for RunAway so strong on the point, forces the transfer fielder. Was the trans to reply really needed? Mag is dead. QOQ's remagged. The pressure here for RunAway so strong.
Good pressure. But as soon as the trans comes out, Gangnam Jin just replies instantly. Did Gangnam Jin really need to use that trans? No. No, he didn't.
RunAway still taking the fight to GC Busan. They have tools in reserve though. They're gonna beat after the Transcendence fades. They can rally right after. They get Hisu down, and they get to save the rally here. As 2.5 minutes left away. Is there a world where GC Busan Wave holds here on second?
There is a real world because Edison
Wow.
both have their ults.
Thoughts on Paris's next 2 games versus Spitfire and Spark? I think Paris can have a pretty close game against Spark. I think Spitfire should be better than them from what we've seen so far. Depends what the maps are as well. Paris have some maps that they look pretty good on and some maps where they don't look that great. Okay, he's about to get up to his first Grav. 2 minutes. 2 minutes left on the clock. Gangnam Jin dies. How did that happen? So RunAway on the approach. How did Gangnam Jin end up over there? So they're playing forwards, but they haven't been able to disrupt Edison from the high ground. So they're trying to push underneath. But instead of committing to pushing underneath or rotating to be able to get him off the high ground, they kind of push forward, then loop back and Gangnam Jin somehow ends up over here because the team is uncoordinated. I think it's also Ion drops down. And then, as they're just kind of milling around with their backs against this wall, they get a bash on Gangnam Jin and isolate him and kill him. But that's very indecisive from RunAway. They look like they don't really know what they're doing. They look like they don't have a plan in this at this point.
And RunAway was just leaving. This is a fight they know they can't win without Gangnam Jin.
I don't know why Demon left Paris.
There's the rally trying to keep Kyokyo alive, but Kyokyo, he's demeched.
Kyokyo's gone. He's Busan wave. Really applying the pressure. Self-destruct and break the shield. And actually RunAway now. Turning it back off the barrier. They get down to light.
I've actually talked to Paris and I've talked to Damon recently, but I just didn't ask them.
Really applying the pressure. Self-destruct and break the shield. Wave.
Kyokyo, he's demeched.
It's not particularly interesting to me. It's more interesting what they're doing, what their jobs are, and what their responsibilities are and stuff like that.
Wave. Really applying the pressure, self-destruct and break the shield. And actually RunAway now. Turning it back off the barrier. They get down to...
He's demeched.
I'm thinking about fucking Paris. I'm thinking about Paris instead of thinking about what's happening in this fight. Okay, what happened in this fight? So GC Busan Wave pushed them out after RunAway had lost somebody. Lost Gangnam Jin. Okay, so Gangnam Jin was dead. So they're trying to go aggressive and they get grabbed. So is there a counter grav in here somewhere? Yeah, so both gravs are down. I can't see shit. Who's caught in this one? It must be Ion. So it's Ion and Fielder. So Fielder uses his trance. The bomb is laid down as well. The bomb doesn't really find anything. And Daydream and Ion have just kind of gone in really deep. And instead of being able to use the primal to isolate people, RunAway... I feel like that even should have been their win anyway, though. Okay, so how did GC Busan Wave fuck this up? Or how did RunAway clutch this? So I think it's Hisu that uses his grab first, right? Yeah. Hisu uses his grav, catches Ion. Counter grav comes out. They invest the trance inside of it. They can't really do much damage to RunAway, but they pop their sound barrier. Oh, it's a huge shatter. Yeah. Mag hits 3 with the shatter. I missed that in the fight in the first time. Nice shatter from Mag. Great work.
Fast break is theirs. They're getting pick off after pick off.
Oh, GC Busan Wave overcommitting so hard for
Wah,
that
wah,
fight.
wah, wah, wah,
They had
wah,
it
wah,
won, and they
wah.
wanted those frags and commit ult and lose.
Unfortunate. If they won that fight, you know, very
It would
well
have been great, but I don't think.
Yeah,
they
I
needed
think
to. I don't think they needed to commit for that fight at all.
I think the
That was
important
like
thing to take away from the
I think
Houston's
they
fuel
got,
match
you know, pumped up by the
is
fact
that
that
Houston had a great
Busan
strat
was
for
alive.
Busan. Houston didn't play well in the other maps.
2.5 minutes left here in Gibraltar.
Their
And they're in
attack
position
on
now
every
for
other
that
map
fight.
was
What
terrible.
to be is to just speed run it, because Edison doesn't have grab. None of the other ults are really on
Their
line.
defense
It's
was
like
occasionally
on the
good.
beat.
I mean, their defense on
Really
Iconville
had
was
to
pretty
do a
decent.
combo
They
for
stopped them
GC
just before
70%
point
to the
B.
ground. Or he should, though Edison has to
With,
move very fast.
Were they running Farah Sombra? I feel like they were running Farah Sombra for a bunch of Iconville defense.
So RunAway. Group up here once more. GC Busan Wave under heavy pressure, and nowhere for on the go.
That's a nice
The shield
isolation
was
on
down
Ion.
low and just the RunAway. Group up here.
The bubble is better for GC Busan Wave, but the focus fire is a lot better from RunAway. And they've managed to get a Discord orb on him. And they loop around the back, and they get boops on him and push him in. They like curl around from both sides and just pull him in.
Nowhere for on the go. His shield was about low and just
Needed the rest of his team to peel for him and relieve some pressure, but they didn't. So this should be a pretty fast time from
They're gonna
RunAway.
have to use double support ult to survive the combo here. And then, anyways, even once that happens, they're still gonna have to deal with the fact that
You're not going to grab them as they come out the choke?
Shatter.
Why don't they do that?
Options here for RunAway.
Alright, wait a second. Wait a fucking second. This is horrible from RunAway. What are they doing? Hisu dies? Alright, this situation, you've only got a little bit of push left to go. You have combo. You have a support ult. The other team has double support ult. And I suppose they're going to get grav at some point as well. If you realize that a bunch of people are coming out of this door, and you grav bomb here, then other people are forced to come out this side. So you grav bomb these people, and you invest a little bit of effort in trying to make sure that at least forces out double support ultimate, or at least one support ultimate if the other support isn't there. But the players that are coming out this side that have to contest the card, you can kill those guys. So if you split your attention and grab early on this door, you're almost guaranteed to win this fight. So I was amazed that they don't grab at all here. I mean, both of their supports are here. Both supports are here. The only player that isn't with them is free. This is 5-man potential for a 5-man grab that would get double support ults out, and you'd still be able to follow up afterwards. But instead, they pressure Hisu. Hisu is where the fuck is Hisu? Over here. Wanders into the rest of them, gets booped, has Discord orb on him, and gets focused down by Edison, mostly, but a little bit of Fielder and Free as well. Graph bomb combo. It's such a nice... Do you know what I think QOQ is the best at? And maybe one of the best divas I've seen. Of just fucking dumping self-destructs right on top of the enemy Ryan's head. Like, he just lands on them like a fucking egg. He just deposits it on their head. Look at this. Look at this. Hoik. And it's just right on their heads. That's a sick place for a bomb. He's really good at doing that shit. And the boob comes in afterwards as well. I don't think the Lucio gets credit, but I think that was Ligier gone. Maybe not, actually. I think it was, though.
Gets the self-destruct off the grab. They're unable to beat in time.
Focus fire is pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good from RunAway.
And RunAway gets a better time bank, too, if not for that.
Alright, extra rounds. Like an egg on a certain streamer's forehead. I watched that clip back and Avast fucked it up. How did Avast fuck that up? He slapped his head, but the subscriber thing obscured half the screen. He should have gone full screen. I haven't done a tier list since I moved to LA, I think. Oops.
Busan Wave going to be on the offense. Putting up that sonic arrow just to see. There's a scout.
Okay, so GC Busan are attacking. And they're running the Winston Goats. Neither team running the Widowmaker. RunAway's using Ryan Goats. So they're probably going to block the cards super early on. So they're holding close. Ion needs to be charging up his primal. Okay, they're going for a flank. They're going to try and go up top and pressure their supports. So they went... The support line was up here. Like Ganamjin. I say their support line. I mean, Shui and Leisha Gon weren't up there, but Ganamjin's up here so that you can get a long sight line down there. And so they rotate up here to see if they can catch him, but he just fucking whoop! He gets off super quick. So he realized that that was coming and nicely got out of the way. But the high ground isn't that important. So you can't really do anything with it, so they have to engage. Like, they've forced the Zen off the high ground, which is good. But I don't think you can really dive the Zen in this position. So it doesn't make too much difference. Really, what I think they should be focusing on is getting this primal up and winning with the primal. But instead, by rotating around and then dropping down and then just kind of milling around, it's been 36 seconds, 37 seconds, and Ion's at 22%, and Hisu's already at 60%. So they kind of fucked this up, I think.
Ion's on the corner looking for
I'd say they've probably fucked this up already. Yeah, and they actually try and dive the back line instead of just poking and prodding the front line. So,
Cheesy Busan to get this rotation out.
yeah.
But for what? What do they gain out of this?
But it's nice from RunAway.
Runaway's
They
on
have an
line.
idea of how to play further
Out-rotated doesn't
forwards.
really
They
mean
know
anything
that
when
Gangnam
you're
Jin's going to be a
Winston.
weakness.
You don't wanna out-rotate them at all.
They
Well, now they've got emergency hand
drop down and defend him pretty well.
RunAway
So,
making sport of GC
good shit.
wave here.
Good shit.
What more can you say? Excellent rotations coming out. The
But I
ball-
am finding it kind of difficult to see, to see how good RunAway are when their opponents are so bad.
Last few members out. Overtime spawns are in effect now, so GC Busan wave, they're going to be slower to reinforce.
And that will be
should be
that.
it.
That will be that.
Because the RunAway's style isn't
Extremely winnable for RunAway.
really,
Extremely
or at least maybe not their style, but
I'll say this. I
they're
would
not
be-
so much winning a lot of the time by virtue of what they're doing or pressure that they're exerting, but there's a lot of unforced errors coming out from these other teams.
And one fight
A lot of the time it's the other team going aggressive into them and fucking it up. And RunAway are just
Really tough.
good at peeling
Because the Sombra
and
means if you win one
pretty
fight with the Sombra, then you probably win. But if you just don't win, then you know it's the risk.
pretty good at
And I
abusing
know
mistakes
they
from the
will
other
run
team.
Sombra, and I imagine RunAway will play Ryan because all you have to do is send your Ryan to point.
Hey Keika, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. 2 months. Cut short Bren, thank you for 3 months in a row. Thank you. Alright, let's take a look at this. Edison's hero pool? I'm not sure whether I know exactly the entirety of Edison's hero pool. He seems like a pretty flexible player. Right? Like, he played a shit ton of Widow. He plays as Zarya. He plays as Sombra for them. Plays... What else did he play? I think he played the other hit scan stuff, right? I'm pretty high on Edison, but I must admit I don't know the extent of his hero pool.
Extremely heavily.
I only know 3 or 4 heroes that I've seen him play in recent memory.
They almost got it right then and there. They got awfully close.
Oh, he plays...
Now there's no cooldowns.
Yeah, I've seen him play
available for
Hanzo.
GC
Does he play
Busan,
Genji?
and
I
you
haven't
see
seen
how
him play
aggressive
Genji
they're gonna be
before.
because the
Well,
Reinhardt just
maybe a long time ago.
wins
I
the
can't really
fight.
remember.
The Reinhardt just wins how aggressive they're going to be because the Reinhardt is available for GC Busan.
Well, this
The
should just
Reinhardt
be
wins the
an
ball
instant
when you're
win.
on Winston.
The light's already gone. They've lost all the sustain that Brigade can bring to the table.
I don't know why
So
GC Busan Wave decided to run Winston here on defense. That doesn't make sense. But, alright.
Because
Well, there you go. That's a 3-1. Alright, so... What have we learned? What could we say we've learned from this? I'd say let's go individual stuff first. Mag's pretty crazy aggressive. But it's not always crazy aggressive like Bumper. Sometimes it is, but it's also the weird pins or weird charges that I think would definitely get punished. But he does have fantastic understanding of when enemy teams are going to be open to being earth shattered, and I think he's able to get away with too much when he plays in Korean Contenders on the Winston. I think he'd get punished much more if he was playing in Owl when he was playing Winston. He doesn't have to respect the opposing Brigittes because most of the opposing Brigittes aren't that good. Kyoku's bomb placement is super good, and occasionally his peel is really good for Mag as well. He doesn't take aggressive positions that often to relieve pressure from Mag. He tends to play pretty tight with the rest of the team, which is a bit weird. Hisu, I'm not particularly high on. I think Hisu individually, his bubbles are sometimes way off. His grabs have generally been pretty good, actually. But then the follow-up on the grab is really weird. He's very passive, and he sits back a lot, which can sometimes be the same thing as being really passive, but he doesn't go and... he doesn't occupy the front line to take aggression away from Mag a lot, although he will do on some occasions. He doesn't go aggressive in grabs to try and get the biggest value he can out of it. And it looks like the team doesn't really play around him very often. But he seems fairly mechanically skilled. But I dislike his positioning and his bubble usage at times. QOQ seemed like he had pretty decent bubbles when he was playing Zarya, when Hisu was playing the Sombra. Shui's been all right. Shui's brig was pretty decent, but a lot of the time that I was looking at Shui, I was wondering why he was going for a different target to everybody else. Like, in a lot of these fights that break down a little scrappily, Shui's bash is really important along with Gangnam-jin's Discord. They should be kind of on the same person. And I don't think that Shui is... It sometimes seems like RunAway's not on the same page in terms of who they're focusing compared to the top teams in OWL. Certainly better than the other Korean Contenders teams, but they are sometimes split where Shui will be chasing down one person because he reckons he can get a bash. The rest of the team is chasing down somebody else. And even though a lot of damage is being poured into the other person, they don't get the bash, so they're not able to get the kill. Lee Jae-gon seems like a fucking nut mechanically on Lucio. Great understanding of boob timings. Really good fragging ability, actually, as well. Doesn't get caught out very much. He did do over the course of, over the course of 3 VODs that I reviewed, he got caught out, a handful of times. Less so than you would expect for the impact that he has. His sound barrier timings are generally pretty good. There was maybe 2 occasions over 3 VODs where he fucked them up and they were pretty bad, but mostly pretty solid. And seems to have quite a lot of clutch potential. Pretty offensive, Lucio. Gangnam Jin on Ana is fantastically clutch. Really plays with Mag very well. His sleep darts are mega clutch. His nano boosts are often too early, but the way that he plays around nano when the other team has EMP is really good and helps them against Sombra Goats a lot. And his Zenyatta seems pretty mechanically gifted in terms of his aim, but he wasn't going insane, but he was doing, he's absolutely getting work done. But his Transcendence usage was frequently quite poor. Like, frequently really poor. Probably the worst ult usage out of anybody on the team. In fact, definitely the worst ult usage out of anybody on the team. QOQ has a good understanding of when to use bomb, although he did whiff a couple. Again, not misunderstanding on Horizon of where people were going. Was that the only situation? Yeah, maybe it was only that one time that QOQ fucked up his bomb. I think QOQ's got a pretty good understanding of how to use self-destruct. They don't rely too much on self-destruct bomb combo, which I thought they did just from the small amount that I'd watched of them, so that criticism was not valid. That turned out not to be the case. They're actually pretty good at being able to utilize them separately, although, as I said, Hisu's grabs themselves are pretty good, but the follow-up on the grab can often be quite poor from Hisu because he plays too passively. Max Earth Shatters were good, the rallies were good, the soundbars were mostly good. The Transcendences are really quite poor from Gangnam Jin. Then, as a team, I already talked a bit about their focus fire. They seem like they have a good understanding of how to play the baity style, where Mag takes a lot of the attention. They play pretty passive when the enemy team has EMP, which I don't like. They seem to still win a lot of fights because Gangnam Jin's understanding of how to use nano boost is really good, and they pour a lot of resources into Mag. And they play very spread out, so it's difficult to get EMPs on everybody without them being able to help each other. But I think it could be improved by them playing more aggressively around Mag against the EMPs. Because they did have that Blizzard World. Blizzard World was the map that they dropped, and a lot of that was them just letting Edison get into too much of a good position without playing aggressively enough. They can be an aggressive team, but I wouldn't say that they're all-out aggressive all the time, or really have like a crazy high tempo to them. They're not Titans or Shock in terms of how aggressive they are. What else? I don't know. What else? Hey, Meet the Meep. Oh, the Junkertown bomb. I mean, the Junkertown bomb wasn't bad, though. The Junkertown bomb was just fucking dumb from Gen G. Kyoku got demeched and just laid the bomb down in the middle. What's the other thing? Okay, so I definitely think, having watched RunAway VODs, that they're not on the same level as Titans and Shock and NYXL. But I think that it's very difficult to be able to tell the difference between those teams and the middle of the pack in OWL, and I think they're definitely better than the teams at the bottom of OWL. Definitely is a strong term. I strongly suspect that they're not as good as the top 3 in OWL. I think they're probably on the level of somewhere between the 4th to maybe the 15th. And I'm pretty certain they're better than the 16th to 20th teams in OWL. I think they're somewhere in here. They don't have as good... they're not as fast-paced as Shock or Titans. They make more mistakes with their ultimates than all 3 of the top teams. They don't get as much value out of their Zarya as the top 5 teams, maybe. Their Transcendence usage is worse than the top... maybe top 10 teams. But they have a good understanding of the meta. They're very good against Sombra Goats, and they get great value out of Ana and Mag's aggression. What else? Is there anything else that needs to be said? I don't know. Can anyone else remember stuff that I was talking about? I don't know. The boops and the relief of pressure. Yeah, I think I spoke on that a little bit, but I think these guys could do a better job of playing a bit more aggressive to be able to relieve pressure from Mag. And I don't mean aggressive like fucking yeeting into them. I mean just like actually taking QOQ taking high ground positions. Like obviously not here, but you know, like for example, if you were having some weird fight, like if this was the low ground and that was the high ground of some weird box shaped structure, I don't fucking know. Taking the high ground and being able to distract and set up set themselves up, set QOQ up in a better position, or Hisu playing further up alongside Mag to be able to increase his damage output, to be able to relieve pressure away from Mag when it's required with his personal bubbles, just to put another player there to distract, and sometimes Shui as well. The boobs from Lee Jae-gon were fantastic. What else? Oh yeah, and also I suppose it is difficult to tell how good RunAway are, because a lot of the times when they win, it's their opponents completely shitting the bed. Gen G are the second best team in Korea right now, by the look of it, by the table and stuff. Busan Wave are also, you know, a fairly decent team, and they made so many mistakes. Gen G had some... What were the biggest errors that Gen G were making? There was so many. Really bad ult usage, terrible understanding of how Gravs should be used, really bad transcendences from Gen G as well, way worse than Gangnam Jin. This game was definitely closer. Busan Wave played better in this game than the previous one, but they did play a bunch of Sombra. In general, RunAway seemed pretty good against that, but they struggled on in a couple of situations. Yeah, so I think that's what can be said about RunAway. Question is whether they're better than the other undefeated team in Europe, British Hurricane. I don't know how good British Hurricane really are, because I haven't done the same thing with them. But I would certainly say that they're not as good as the top 3. And I know that there are people out there that believe that they are the best team in the world right now, RunAway. Okay, so here's the other thing as well. The idea of RunAway being a very clean team, I think, is just wrong. When things got messy on point B on this map, or when the fight devolves and they need some focus fire, or their ult usage in general, clean is not a word that I would associate with this team. I don't think they play clean Overwatch. So, yeah. Anyway, okay. That's that then. That's RunAway. I think Titans are often very clean, actually. Titans have been very clean at times. and not even at times. Titans' general play is super clean. And then when things get hairy, they have really tight teamwork. So when Shock are the cleanest team in the league. But when Titans are in the middle of fights, their teamwork is still really tight. They don't get very all over the place. They don't focus different targets. They don't lose track of where people are in the fight. They don't tend to have one player that wanders into a region, like an area that they shouldn't, and gets picked off. They still are fairly coordinated even when things get chaotic, which is what I mean by, I suppose that's not really clean, I suppose that's tight, but RunAway weren't that tight. They weren't that coordinated when things got chaotic. Clean, I suppose, generally refers to how much you just execute super well on everything that you do. Like if you have a plan, you go in, you obliterate your opponents, you reset. I suppose that's clean. That's more like the San Francisco Shock, I suppose. But Titans are very good at executing on what their plan is, and they generally are pretty clean. It looks chaotic because they play that style where they shove bumper in and try and bait you into they try and bait you into killing people on Titans and then peel for them so well that you end up getting collapsed on, which can look messy, but the design is there. Like that's the whole point of what they're trying to do. So that is pretty clean. Like that's their plan, and they execute on their plan, and their ults are very clean. The Titans' ult usage is super clean, whereas RunAway's ult usage is not. This I think is the distinction between what I would consider clean or tight Overwatch and why I don't think those labels really apply to RunAway if we're considering the absolute top level teams in the game.